Welcome back to the Weight Competition Center here in Morrisville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you as we get set for another matchup that we've been waiting for. Nick, NC State hosting the front end of a home-and-home series here with the Liberty Flames. Now, NC State did play the Division I Liberty Flames earlier on up in Lynchburg this season. Didn't go their way. Now they will take on the Division II team in this home-and-home series. But before we get into that game, I want to look back at the last three games. Of course, we had coverage of that Kentucky game a couple of weeks ago. NC State got off to a solid start, had a 2-0 lead, ended up falling 5-2 in that game as they gave up 5 unanswered, including 3 in that third period. So a tough third period in that one. NC State, though, bounces back, picks up the win in the first of 2 games against Penn State up in Pennsylvania last weekend, a 3-1 win before falling 4-2. Close game, couldn't quite get back into it in the third period in the second one against Penn State and gave up an empty netter late to finish that one 4-2. So that's how things have gone for NC State since we last talked. One thing I think worth getting into before we start talking about those games a little bit more is the fact that NC State lost a pretty key contributor in Drew Bresingham in that Kentucky game.
Yeah, Drew Bresingham, we didn't even know about this till he came in today. He suffered an AC joint injury, so he'll be out for at least 2 more weeks, Chris. However, things are still looking good for him in terms of his emotional state. He's always one of those guys that's always happy when he comes in. You always see a smile on his face, so he's still in good spirits. Fortunately for the Ice Pack, he will not be out there on the ice tonight.
Yeah, it's one of the things the coaching staff said about him to us today is a good locker room presence, and there's nothing we've seen that would dispute that. Of course, he's always got a high level of energy coming in, always really loud, always ready to go, always happy to be here, and that's really, really important. Another thing that's important when we get back to the on-the-ice stuff is not beating yourself, and that's one thing that head coach Tim Healy feels like, particularly in the loss to Kentucky and then the one up at Penn State that NC State did to themselves.
So going back to that Kentucky game, Healy was a little upset. They were out 2-0 in that game, like you had mentioned, Chris, and it all came down to really a paddle save that Kentucky's goalie made, Riley Allen, and Tim Healy even said, he hated to say it, but he said they got the big save when they needed it, unfortunately for them. That game would have been 3-2 Ice Pack at the time, said NC State loses 4-2. And then that loss against Penn State, we were talking to him earlier today as well, mentioned how in the second game that they lost, they had 23 first period turnovers. They played great those last 2 periods, and he said they even owned the third period, but it was too little too late. 23 first period turnovers was 2 less than they had the entire game the previous night. So the mistakes and beating themselves are kind of what has caused NC State to drop 2 of their last 3, Chris.
And so that leads us into this series here this weekend, a big one against the tough opponent in the Liberty Flames, their Division II team here at Weight Competition Center for the game tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about those Flames and how NC State matches up with them. On the other side, it's NC State hockey here in Morrisville.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Welcome back to Morrisville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman, Nick Prozzi with you here at Invisalign Arena at Weight Competition Center, getting set for NC State and the Liberty Flames out on the ice. So we're going to take a look at the matchup for tonight, and we're going to start by looking in particular for Liberty. I think the biggest story for this team is their goaltending. Lane Scone, their top goaltender, because it is a home and home, he's going to get the rest tonight. And Nick Bernstein, who has not played a game yet for the Flames, is going to get his first look in net.
Yeah, we talked to the Liberty coaches pregame, mentioned how Nick Bernstein's brand new to Liberty. He hasn't played a game for them at all. It's going to be a little bit of a test here for him tonight coming into this arena and this environment. But like we said with their other goalie, it's been a fantastic job his past couple games, a 1.79 goals against through his first 4 games. So Liberty's going to have to dig a little deeper offensively if they want to help Bernstein out tonight.
Yeah, and one of the things that Coach Hughes of the Flames said to us, and was really kind of the overarching message for his team tonight, is just going to be executing your game and sticking to your game plan. That's really kind of the case for NC State, too. What are you looking at for NC State to do tonight if they want to take advantage of Liberty?
I think NC State's got to come out firing all cylinders. It was only a 2-hour, 45-minute bus ride for Liberty. They're not going to have bus legs or bus fatigue. But NC State needs to come out. They need to start out firing shots right on goal. They need to get their offense going, I think, because past couple of games, they have 7 goals their last 3 games, Chris. That is not sustainable hockey on offense. They got to find something to get going, and they've got to get pucks in the back of the net. They got to rely on Nick Shook and Garrett Arini. They got to rely on them to make those big plays, but someone else needs to step up for NC State, I think.
Yeah, and as we talked about there when we talked about the goaltending situation for Liberty, I think another thing to look at here that is unique in this scenario is you don't really see it a lot, is this home and home series. It's one of the things that the coaching staff for Liberty mentioned too when we talked about it, was there's not really anybody else that these two teams could do it with. And for those of you who are watching who might not know what I'm talking about, of course, NC State, Liberty playing here tonight, 9:30 puck drop. It's a little after 10 o'clock puck drop in Lynchburg at LaHaye Ice Center tomorrow. So NC State going to be hopping on the bus early, heading out. And I think that's something that is going to be an interesting experience. And these teams have done it before. This is the 3rd iteration of this home and home series. But if you're NC State, you got to look at that too.
Yeah, the Battle of the Wagon Wheel. It brings a rivalry to it just because of the uniqueness. Playing at home one night, going on the road the very next night. NC State said they're going to leave at 5 o'clock tomorrow to go to Lynchburg. Liberty said they came in at 7 o'clock this evening, so it is pretty beneficial for both of these teams, however, Chris, to get in pretty late. They're able to stay at their home campuses, stay a good bit before they come on over. That's why fatigue's not really a big of a problem, but playing back-to-back nights, that can definitely have some contributing factors, especially tomorrow night.
Yeah, with that late puck drop here tonight, relatively speaking, of course, to when they usually are. I haven't seen any sleeping bags in the locker room. There might be some in there after the game, though. Well, we've got a little less than 8 minutes left until this thing kicks off. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we'll have our final thoughts and get you set for puck drop between NC State and Liberty.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
We've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi back with you here at Invisalign Arena as we get set for NC State and Liberty to face off in the battle for the wagon wheel. Again, back-to-back nights. We've got games, of course, here in Morrisville at Invisalign Arena tonight, tomorrow up at LaHaye Ice Center in Lynchburg. Let's take a look now, Nick, at these two teams, and particularly tonight, what they need to do and who they need to rely on in order to come away with the win. And I'll start with Liberty. I think we talked about the goaltending situation, how things pan out for Bernstein and net will certainly be interesting. One thing Coach Hughes mentioned is, and this was all theoretical, but what happens if they have to pull Bernstein early and then Lane Scone, that top goaltender for them, has to play it, kind of changes up the strategy for tomorrow. So there's that to think about. But I think when you look at the front end, there are a couple of guys to keep an eye on for this team when you're looking at the offensive end. That's Roman Lamoureux and Thomas Kaner are going to be the guys they really rely on up front. And then on the back end, the leader for that defensive core is Reese Pullen. So those are the three names outside of the goaltending, which I think really is the big story for them to look at. Now on the NC State side, Isaac Toyer's going. He's a guy that this team is comfortable playing in front of. What do you think NC State needs to do? One, to help out Toyer a little bit, and then, of course, overarching to get that win.
I think they got to help out Toyer tonight, Chris, by getting off to a fast start, and I think they got to play a full 60 minutes of hockey. Tim Healy said they haven't played a full 60 minutes yet. They've had times where they've looked like a best team in the league, and then there's times where they have faltered. They haven't looked that great. So I think for NC State, they got to come firing out on all cylinders and not let off the gas tonight, and also help Toyer out. I think they just, like I said before, they got to get that offense going. Not a lot of goals the past couple of games. Maybe throw in a couple of plays in there, look for some fast breaks and some breakaway chances. If they can get that done, I think NC State definitely has a good hand in this deal. They've lost the last two to Liberty. They lost both last year in this series. So they're definitely looking for some revenge tonight.
Well, and we can hear the boys coming out of the locker room now. They're getting loud and rowdy. I think they're ready to play. And as we talked about, this has become a rivalry for these two teams. They play at least once or twice every year. It's always a game that's circled on the schedule. And so another thing that really applies to both teams that Coach Hughes mentioned to us was containing the emotion. Don't let it get the best of you. We saw with NC State happen a little bit. You took a couple unnecessary penalties in that Kentucky game, and that can end up costing you. So emotion is going to be another thing that these two teams need to manage. Well, we've got less than 5 minutes until these two teams take the ice and get things going at Invisalign Arena. NC State and Liberty coming up next.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
you'll see
a warrior mom,
an endurance athlete,
someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit is unshakable.
Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
As you can see, the two teams now out onto the ice, set to get things started here in just a couple of minutes. Announcing the starting lineups right now. And as we look down there, at least on the Liberty side, the defenseman will be graduate student Dylan Kent, paired with sophomore Logan Starkey. On the offensive side, Jared Matley is out there, along with Thomas Kaner, as well as Eric Abate. So that's the starting five for Liberty. Of course, we mentioned Nick Bernstein in net. On the other side for NC State, they're going to start things off with Zach Herman, Zach Robinson, as well as Joey Govea out there as the forward line. The two defensemen will be number 5, Ricky Frosch, and number 11, Cade Cox. In net, as we mentioned earlier, will be Isaac Toyer. So those are the starting lineups for both teams here tonight. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you at Invisalign Arena. And Nick, might be a little bit noticeable, the crowd a little bit thinner tonight. That has, I think, more than anything to do with the fact that it's a little bit later start and it's a Thursday night instead of a Friday.
Yeah, 9:30 start time on a Thursday, and fall break coming up. A lot of people have already gone home as well. NC State, Ice Pack, they did a little giveaway today where if you bought one ticket as a student and you used a certain code, you were given 4 additional tickets for free. I was trying to get that crowd back in, trying to get all the people still on campus right now to come out here to Morrisville to see the Ice Pack take on the Liberty Flames tonight.
They still have people filing in, and a good amount of people have gathered around ice level on the glass as well. So it should still be a good atmosphere tonight, and we expect it to be a very good game to boot. So these two teams set for the national anthem. We're going to throw it down to the ice here for the men. So there's the national anthem. All that's left now is to drop the puck and let the boys go at it. NC State and Liberty, the front end of a home-and-home series for these two teams. They will be up in Lynchburg, Virginia tomorrow night at LaHaye Ice Center. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you. And Nick, as we get this thing started here, final thoughts before they drop the puck.
I think the atmosphere today is not going to play as big as a factor as previous games. Still going to play a factor, I think, Chris. Liberty is a D2 school. They're not used to these big crowds since they have a D1 team and they always sell out their barn. But tonight, I think the story is going to be who's going to make the least amount of stakes and who's going to keep their emotions in check and not let them spill over into the penalty box.
And I will say it might not get quite as many people for the Division I games, but up in Lynchburg, they like their hockey, and so they get a good crowd, whether it's their Division I or their Division III team out there on the ice. Ready at center for the puck drop. Govea facing off against David Hauk. So, pardon me, Hauk out there with Abate and Matley. And it'll be Liberty off the draw. Clearing pass blocked down by Herman. The battle for it in the near corner. Forced up the wall. NC State with a couple of bodies there. Zach Robinson gets a piece of it. Sends it back behind the Liberty net. Scooped up there by Logan Starkey. He'll wait for the breakout to set up. Zips one up that far wall. Unable to handle it was Matley. NC State trying to go to work. Cade Cox thrown to the ice by Starkey. And now Liberty able to force it forward. That's Matley into the corner. Bodied off by Ricky Frosch, who sidesteps a hit. And now NC State can look to move out. Deflected pass will be held in the zone by Matley. He'll sweep it deep. And NC State has to chase it down in their own end again. Govea has some space. Lifts it off the glass up the far side and out. Ice Pack need a change. Here's Neal on the near side for Liberty. Knocked down, didn't see the hit coming. Now a breakaway for Arini. Inaloni scores! Oh, what a great play. NC State strikes 59 seconds in. It's the captain capitalizing on the turnover. 1-0 NC State.
We mentioned it in the pregame. NC State's got to come firing off on all cylinders.
Knocked down, didn't see the hit coming. Now breakaway for Arini. Inaloni scores! Oh, what a great play.
Couldn't have drawn it up any better for NC State right there. The line change happening for Liberty. Someone staying back, making the hit from behind. It was a clean hit. Arini, knowing what was about to happen, skating on through. And right away, first minute, it's 1-0 Ice Pack.
NC State controls off the draw. Pass deflected out of play, another neutral zone faceoff. It was Zach Herman who laid the hit. It was, as you mentioned, good clean hit. It was one that Neal did not see coming. That was Cooper Neal, and the puck just squirted right out to Garrett Arini, and he put it through the 5-hole of Nick Bernstein to make it 1-0. So a good start for NC State. Liberty wins the draw. They'll control at their own blue line. Sent up the wall. Nathan Mulder will send it deep. And a one-on-one battle in that near corner. A little bit of help coming from Lamoureux. He'll force it behind the net. NC State chases it down. Labrizzi sends it up the wall. The Flames hold the zone for the moment. Arini collects it at his own blue line. Goes rink wide. He'll find Philip Bailey, who brings it down the left wing and in. Backhand pass through the crease in the middle. Nobody there. NC State looking to put on some pressure with the forecheck. Nathan Mulder retreats behind his own net. Liberty's alternate captain hands it off for Antonio Vidal. He'll move it along for Thomas Kaner. With some speed, he finds Lamoureux, who scores. I'm not sure where it got through Toyer, who immediately looked at his bench and tapped his chest, but that one squeaks through, and just like that, we're tied at 1.
Looked like to me,
it off for Antonio Vidal.
Hit him with a 5-hole there, Chris. Beautiful pass going through.
Lamoureux, who scores.
Like
I'm not sure where it got through Toyer, who immediately looked at his bench.
To get it through the legs of Eric Toyer. And 2 minutes in the game, we've seen 2 goals. We're all tied up once again. This game's going to be fast-paced, folks. I can tell you that.
Another center ice face-off. Liberty will win the draw. They've won 3 of the first 4 face-offs. They'll send it behind the NC State net. Retreating for it, Cade McConaughey. Loose puck sent up the middle as that pass was deflected away. Liberty controls in the neutral zone. It'll be stolen away, though. Nick Shook has it knocked off his stick. Followed up there by McEnany. Shook bodied off the puck. Liberty clears it out in the neutral ice. McConaughey chasing after it. Just 2.5 minutes in, NC State scored 59 seconds in, and then 54 seconds later, or pardon me, 56 seconds later, it was Liberty evening up the score as the Ice Pack send it deep. Bernstein sets it on a tee for Logan Starkey. He'll sweep it up that far wall, collected there by Aaron Higgins. Back across the ice for Starkey. It's in his skates. He'll take it off the wall. Swept across down to Dylan Kent. Pretty good pressure at the blue line by NC State. Now they'll send it deep. That's Logan Togg sweeping it in. Bernstein behind the goal again. Backhand pass up to Starkey. He'll move it up the wall for Indermill. And now puck gets deflected out of play. Looks like the face-off will come out on top of the Liberty net. Or blue line, pardon me.
But a very fast-paced start. NC State doing a good job on that forecheck, like we mentioned 2 weeks ago with that Kentucky game, Chris. They're setting the tone early. The question is, like Tim Healy said, can they play a full 60 minutes of hockey here? They've had a flat tire get blown on that little 5-hole of a goal Liberty got immediately after. Want to know if NC State's going to let that deflate them the rest of the night. Looks like we got an icing coming up. See if it's going to let them deflate them the rest of the night, or they're going to take that to the heart, try to answer right back.
It's Tim Healy. One thing that head coach Tim Healy mentioned to us in the post game after the Kentucky game is, the way his team reacted when they, quote unquote, got punched in the mouth, and there was some fight back from Kentucky, and they weren't quite able to respond to Kentucky in that game. It'll be interesting to see. It's a similar situation here, obviously earlier on, but a little bit of pushback from Liberty. We'll see how that goes. Ooh, a big hit at the red line. That was Cooper Neal. He was the one knocked down that led to the NC State goal, but he nailed Cade Cox. Or pardon me, that was actually number 12, Aiden Brenner, right at the red line.
And Ricky Frosch also went down on the play as well. He got a stoppage. Not sure what happened to Ricky Frosch. I think he also, too, took a big hit, and he was a little slow to get up, a little shaking going back to the bench, but emotions may have played a little over there.
NC State wins the draw. Labrizzi goes D-to-D for Jack Strong. NC State with some trouble controlling after that, and a hand pass called. We'll have another face-off coming.
Well, we mentioned it in the pregame. These two teams are rivals. They may not seem like traditional rivals. These teams are rivals, though, because of their uniqueness of the games that they played. And two really big hits so far. It's kind of showing that rivalry and how the emotions come in. And if you're able to catch the game tomorrow up in Lynchburg, I think the emotions are going to spill over even more.
There's still a good 56 minutes or so left in this one here, so there's plenty of time for emotions to play their part. NC State with a steal at their own blue line. That's Zach Robinson who clears it out. A little bit of alleviation there for NC State. Now the stretch pass deflected up into the ice pack bench, and we'll get another face-off on top of the NC State, actually on top of the Liberty blue line here.
We'll see a little bit of offensive zone time for Liberty, but a big turnover there. I believe it was forced by Zach Robinson. NC State's doing a much better job, I think, on those zone times, not letting Liberty get something set up. We haven't really seen any offense set up so far in the short 4.5 minutes that we've seen so far.
NC State behind their own net. That's number 4, Jackson Cowan. Sent across now for Robinson. His pass to the middle intended for Herman. Pinballs through traffic. Offsides will be waved off, so NC State carries on in the offensive zone. James, a little bit of a weak pass there, deflected out of the zone by Lamoureux. He'll chase it down on the forecheck. Cowan now in the far corner. Bodied off the puck. Some help there from Liberty in the form of Antonio Vidal. Back up the wall at the point. It'll be slapped down by Nathan Mulder. Liberty finally starting to get set up in the offensive zone a bit. NC State back in control. Lifted to the near side by Zach Robinson. NC State unable to control through the neutral zone. That's been a problem for them since that first minute, is just maintaining possession into the offensive end. Liberty keeping the pressure up, pinching in. Starkey holds the zone, sends it all the way around the wall where the bouncing puck can be slapped back down by Dylan Kent. They'll fight for it behind the NC State net. Cowan dispossessed. For Liberty, that's Corey Owens. He'll be pinned to the wall on that near side. NC State finds the loose puck. Rink-wide pass, hit a stick, and Arini unable to control. Still loose, though, at center ice. Arini's got it, chips it in for Bailey. It'll be poked right back out. NC State needs to check up with the delayed offsides. Cox sends it deep. Dylan Kent up that far wall. Can't connect with his target. Cade Cox back in possession for NC State. Philip Bailey furthers it along and takes the hit in the process. Liberty sends it right back out. We've talked a little bit about the physicality, and it's pretty lopsided right now. NC State hasn't used the body too much. Liberty has not been afraid to go to the body. They've taken liberties, so to speak.
Philip Bailey caught off sides there. Logan Starkey was the one that delivered that hit right on the Liberty bench. For a second, I thought NC State was the one making that hit, showing that physicality themselves, but it was not. And this kind of goes back to that D1 Liberty game NC State played a couple weeks ago. Coach Healy said at times they were out-physical, but most of the time they were very physical, and now a little pushing and shoving going on before the face-off. That was Luke Tucker giving a little push there to Holden Kaufman. He's going to get a word from the referee about that. But the physicality for NC State right now, they've taken bad penalties, especially in that Kentucky game, because of it. Maybe that's contributing here right now, but the emotions are definitely running for NC State.
Cade Cox forces his way through 3 Liberty defenders and all the way down behind that Flames net. Puck loose in the near corner. NC State in on the forecheck. That's Kaufman. 2-on-2 scrum. Ice Pack come away with it. Knocked off the puck there was McEnany, but it's Nick Shook stealing away the breakout pass. Loose over on the far wall, it's Kaufman. Loses the handle, it slides right back out of the zone to Cade Cox. They'll go D-to-D for Ricky Frosch, who sends it in. NC State with some good pressure there, but a long pass up the ice finds Neal. Here's a chance for Liberty. Shot deflected wide of the net. The Flames still in control. Bouncing puck over on that far side, settled down by the Ice Pack. McEnany takes a hit as he gets rid of it to Kaufman. But again, it's been a slog through the neutral zone for these two teams. Nobody really having a lot of success gaining entry into the offensive zone right now.
Now both goals were both 2 good chances for NC State, able to get on through. Icing gets waved off. NC State had a good chance. Liberty had a good chance. Just not really sustaining anything. And again, NC State right there, try to set something up offensively. They can't. They'll back out to the neutral zone. Liberty with good pressure.
And if you want to get a sense of just how much of a struggle for these two teams it's been getting into the offensive end, it's unofficial on the scoreboard, but the scoreboard right now does have shots at 2-1. And that is almost 8 minutes into this hockey game. That is very low, and I think it's a testament to how well these two teams have done at just not allowing the other to get into their system in the offensive end. Face off to the right of Toyer. NC State will win it. Again, struggle to get it out of the zone. They will, but they won't maintain possession. Thomas Kaner steals it away. He finds Lamoureux on the far side of the ice. He'll walk it across the blue line. Immediately poked back out by NC State. They really clogged it up at the blue line there. NC State still cannot break it out of their own end. Now Labrizzi sends it up the wall, deflected up and over top of Liberty. It's out of the zone, but the Flames back in control. Dylan Kent sends it deep. NC State first to it. And now they've got some space if they can get to it. Herman moved forward. Now it's Robinson. He's going to walk down that right wing. Has it poked off his stick. Kaner takes over for Liberty. Stopping behind his own net. Some pressure from Govea. Now Vidal finds Lamoureux with some speed. Lamoureux trying to go around his defender with the bank pass to himself. It didn't work, and now NC State will lift it long. Herman cancels out the icing as he goes into the corner with Cade Pollock of Liberty. Back to the point, one-time shot, hit a body on the way through. Good chance there for NC State's Cade McConaughey. Just didn't get to the net. Now Cowan. All the way across the rink, he finds Govea, who retreats with it. Not quite to the halfway point of this first period. And other than the 2 chances in transition for these two teams, we haven't seen much by way of offense. Maybe a chance here, but Toyer going to pounce on the loose puck and take it away from Jared Matlin.
I think these two teams match up so well together, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing right now. One team will get a goal like NC State. Liberty, the other team, will answer back. And look at that chance there for Matley, just out of reach for his stick, but
I think you look at that play and then you look at the 2 goals that have been scored. Play around the blue line is going to be very important. Here's the NC State goal scorer, Arini. Oh, he gets tangled up there, couldn't get the shot away. And now it looks like the net comes off its moorings. And a great chance for Arini will go by the wayside. As he had, that one wasn't quite a breakaway chance. We'll get another look at it there. A good defensive effort made by Cade Pollock to really disrupt the Ice Pack captain. But just to get back to that last point, I think you look at how the goals were scored. NC State gets a turnover at the blue line and scores. For Liberty, there were a couple of good plays made at their own blue line and then at the offensive blue line as well to set up their goal. So blue line play and that play right around the blue lines has already had a big impact on this game. Here comes Liberty again. Quick shot right into the breadbasket of Isaac Toyer as he makes the stop on Corey Owens.
Yeah, we just saw it right there again. Liberty able to break it out. They're able to get a shot on goal this time, which is something we haven't really seen that much. But once again, the breakouts I think are to be very important in this game. That's giving really both teams chances so far.
Liberty controls off the draw. They'll work it back to the point. Hauk steers it deep. Cade Cox the first to it for NC State. He'll pitchfork it off the glass and out. NC State has a couple of forecheckers after. Emery Oliver and Philip Bailey in on the forecheck. Endermill on the near side is open. He finds Owens. Liberty no problem breaking out. Pass to the center of the ice. Skips over the stick of Mulder. And now NC State can control. Just under 10 minutes left in this first period. NC State struck 59 seconds in. And then 56 seconds later, it was Liberty evening up the scores. That shot deflected over top of Toyer and out of play. But again, since the Nick, it's been a very tightly contested game. As we've said, not a whole lot of shots for either side. And it feels like it's going to be, you talked about not beating yourself, it feels like it's going to be a mistake for either side that's going to cost them.
I think it's already been a mistake for both sides that's cost them.
A little bit of a battle off the face-off. Liberty got a shot there. NC State able to clear, but the Flames will work it right back in. Puck rolling around the M boards. NC State directs it back behind the net. Labrizzi looking up the near wall. That'll be clogged up. And it's Cooper Neal sending it around behind the net. Right now, Liberty doing a great job at the offensive blue line of not allowing NC State to move it out. They will this time, though, as Nick Shook. Nice job protecting the puck. Tries to backhand it on goal. Loose there for Kaufman, and his shot off the body of Bernstein. They'll fight for it in the corner now. McEnany in there with Kaufman. It'll be Liberty winning that battle, though. Luke Tucker across the rink and off the wall for Cooper Neal to slap deep. Isaac Toyer behind the NC State net. Moved along now, Kaufman. Banks it off the wall and out. Nobody in a white jersey there, though. Now it's Pullen, the D-man. Swings it up that far side. Nobody in a dark jersey there, though. Now NC State reverses it. Kaufman receives the pass from Brenner. Takes the shot. Ooh, Bernstein didn't see it, but it wasn't on frame. And so play continues in that near corner. Kaufman beat to the loose puck behind the net by Cade Pollock. And now Liberty will look to move it out. Over to Pollock again. Now Lamoureux. Puck hops his stick. A stop on a dime for it. Finds Pullen, who scores. High slot. He was wide open. Lots of traffic in front. And it's 2-1 Liberty.
Watch Poland right up top, just inside the blue line. He's trailing the play. NC State forgets that he's out there on the ice, right in front of the net. NC State caught off guard by where Poland was. He just skates right into the middle. That's the last spot you want someone to take a shot, and Poland really had anywhere to go with that puck, and he finds top left to make it 2-1 Flames.
Liberty right back to work. Lamoureux had his shot deflected wide. Now Ricky Frosch in control for NC State. Breakout pass intended for Herman. Not sure he saw it, though. NC State still able to possess. Cade Cox breaking into the offensive end, looking for the response for the Ice Pack. Forces it down behind the net. Lamoureux, first one there for Liberty. Pestered by Herman. He'll get away from the pressure. Sauce it up the wall for Vidal. Furthered along there by Mulder. Now a chance here brewing for Kaner. Moving in. Deflected in front. It looks like Toyer might have gotten a piece of it. And the rebound cleared out of danger by NC State. Puck knocked down there by Govea. He'll work into the zone. Shot. Gets stuck in traffic, and now Liberty turns it back the other way. They've been great in transition. Abadi knocked off the puck. Collected now by NC State's defense. It's Frosch. Looking over his options. Now tries to clear it. Deflects off of a Flames player and out of play. 6:58 to go in the first period. 2-1 the score in favor of Liberty. as this face-off, I believe, will be on top of the NC State blue line.
How about Nathan Mulder right there for Liberty on that last chance that they had? Right in front of the net, he just couldn't get a stick to the puck. Really good job by Toyer as well, kind of reading and taking away any chance Mulder had, but it was that close to being 3-1 Flames, and I think NC State needs to use that as a wake-up call.
Ice Pack will win the neutral zone draw and send it deep. Liberty takes control behind their own net and able to break it out. Now Matley gains the red line and sends it down below the NC State goal line. The scrum for it in that far corner. NC State lifts it up and out. That was Kaufman who was able to send that away. Now NC State very aggressive on the forecheck here, giving space to Liberty, and they'll be able to break it out. Aaron Higgins forces his way in. He gets stopped up along the wall near the hashes. Some help coming in the form of Richard Indermill. Still NC State can't clear. Loose puck, top of that far circle. Scott Daniel picks it up. Now he does clear it into neutral ice, but NC State not going to possess. They will get a line change, though, as Liberty now moves forward again. Corey Owens bodied off the puck. It'll get tangled up in some skates. 3 Ice Pack players there, 2 Liberty players, and it's Corey Owens of Liberty who forces it back behind the net. Backhanded around again by Indermill. This time NC State can get it. Scooped up by Kaufman. He'll send it off the wall looking for Arini. That didn't connect. And now Liberty can control again. A little bit of a mishandle there, though, for Pollock. NC State trying to capitalize on it, but they can't get clean possession. Pollock again in control. No gain the red line. Once again, shoots it deep. And this time, Liberty needs the change. Deflected through the neutral zone by Philip Bailey. He'll go in on the forecheck. Pollock wraps it around the wall. Finds his defensive teammate in Mulder. His stretch pass misses his intended target, but there to wave off the icing is Luke Tucker, I should say. Liberty creating chaos in front of the NC State net. It's loose in the slot. Still there in skates, and finally NC State finds it and swats it out of the zone. That could have been very dangerous. Toyer, I'm sure, was lost looking in those skates for the puck. Again, back to the neutral zone slog that most of this first period has been. Neither team has really been successful in getting through neutral ice. Hauk. Pass deflected. NC State takes it over. Cowan was looking for Nick Shook on that pass up the far side. That'll be deflected away. And this time Liberty will try their luck. Well, this is what it comes down to. Each team kind of gets 2 goes at it, and then they've got to make a change. And so now it'll be NC State's turn to set up the breakout. Just over 4 minutes left in this first period. And about 4 minutes ago, it was Liberty picking up the goal. And that's the difference right now, 2-1 Flames. They'll retreat into their own end for this one. Brought up by Kent. He's got Vidal with him. Decides not to use him. Sends it off the end wall, and Toyer had to jump on it. We've got a little bit going on next to the net afterwards, but that was an interesting play there. NC State got a little bit lucky as Dylan Kent just slammed it off the end wall, and Isaac Toyer had to beat Johnny on the spot there, Nick.
Yeah, it took one of those odd bounces that the puck can take, and Lamoureux was right there, right in front of the net. Toyer luckily able to glove it, keep that puck down and freeze it, but another great chance for Liberty right in front of the net, something NC State really hasn't done today.
Liberty wins the faceoff, not able to do much with it though. NC State on the breakout, loses it at the red line. Now Thomas Kaner breaks it in. His shot hit a stick and deflects out of play. Another faceoff in the NC State zone.
I think something to watch the rest of this period and even the rest of this game is NC State's emotions. A little bit ago, I believe they should have called a penalty on Scott Daniel. He kind of gave a push to Liberty's Aaron Higgins from behind. It was after he delivered the puck more than 5 seconds and knocked him to the ground. The referees missed it, and now after the play, NC State starting to get a little chippy. They are down 2-1. I don't know if that's playing a factor in it. I'm going to assume it is, and they got to try to find to keep it under control.
Herman, turnaround shot, big pad, save the rebound, they score. There's the goal they were looking for. An excellent effort from Zach Herman, and it's finished off by Ricky Frosch. Well, Herman, I don't think he got credit for an assist on the first goal. He will on this one, but look at this effort.
Herman takes the hit. He still has the puck. He'll shoot it on net, because why not? Pad save goes directly to Ricky Frosch. He's got the entire right side of the net open for his disposal. We're tied at 2. That's one way to get those emotions transferred into something else. Put it into the back of the net. We're tied at 2 with 3:10 left in the first.
Govea on the draw for NC State up against Josh Martin of Liberty. Govea initially won the draw, but it's Liberty with possessions. Pad save made by Toyer. Juicy rebound bounced over the stick of Luke Tucker, or Liberty could have taken the lead right back. Flames do have control once again. It's Houck. The defenseman Houck, that is. Daniel will send it deep. NC State tracks it down. It's Labrizzi. He finds Robinson, lifted up that far wall. Stepping around a hit was Aiden Brenner. NC State able to gain the zone, but they're not onside. They've got to check up. Martin behind the net. Finds Neal up the far wall. Little bank pass rink wide intended for Luke Tucker. It was a little bit long. Icing waved off though. Fight for it along that near side wall. NC State comes away with it. That's Alex James. Breakout pass stolen away. It'll be dumped right back into him. No go D to D. One touch pass back to the middle. It's Brenner with speed through the neutral zone. Lifts a pass in the middle looking for Daniel. There are too many blue jerseys there to disrupt it. Indermill moves it back the other way for Liberty. Bouncing puck collected by Kent. Dylan Kent of the Flames moves it behind the NC State net. Down under 2 minutes left in the period. Flames trying to get something set up in the offensive end, but NC State will pin it in the corner. Aiden Brenner comes away with it. He gets stopped up. Breakout pass intended for Scott Daniel. Knocked back in, and now NC State finally able to clear it out in the form of Logan Todd. He'll lift a bouncer in on goal, steered away by Bernstein. NC State looking to get in on the forecheck. Philip Bailey, one-on-one with Aaron Higgins. Gets some help in there as well from Arini. Puck still stuck up along that sidewall as Arini gets tripped up. Had a stick tangled up in his skates, but play will continue without a penalty. And now it gets pinned behind the Liberty net. Couple of Ice Pack players in there. That was Oliver and Bailey. Couldn't come away with it though. Dylan Kent sends it off the glass and out. Getting a skate to it at the defense for NC State was McConaughey, pardon me, but NC State can't possess. Here comes Liberty. Nice diving play made by Alex James to deny the centering pass. Arini trying to chop it out and can't. And the Flames back in control again. Pass all the way across, hit a stick and deflects into the corner. It was intended for Kaner, as Liberty trying to get a couple more chances before the end of this period. At the red line, they turn it over. Poked in by Kaner. Liberty back on the attack once more. Kaner turns in the corner with it, sends it back up to the blue line for Vidal. He'll sweep one into the far side. Pull-in pinch is in, down to 15 seconds left in the period. Good pressure here from Liberty. Pollock has his shot blocked. Loose puck at the blue line, and Liberty sends it right back in. And with 4 seconds to go, that was an ill-advised play by Roman Lambrou, one of the leaders on this team, Nick. As it's an intentional offsides, it's going to go all the way down here.
There's only 5 seconds left, so NC State has a chance to either shoot it off the draw, win the draw, get a quick pass off the draw. One of your best players making that play with 5 seconds to go, I don't really understand it.
Herman on the faceoff for NC State, unable to win it. Liberty will pin it behind their own net and finish off period number 1. A couple of early goals and a couple of late goals, 2 aside for each of these teams. Nick, it was an entertaining first period.
It was an interesting first period, in my opinion, Chris. We saw what you like to call, and I really liked how you described the period. It was a neutral zone slog, and all 4 goals we really saw, there was less than about 10 seconds of offensive zone ice time, and I think that's going to keep going the rest of this game. Both teams, like I said before, they match up really well, and I think we're going to see it in the final 40 minutes, Chris.
Well, the 2 teams head off to the locker rooms. We'll step aside here for a couple minutes and come back in the first intermission. After 20 minutes, it's NC State 2, Liberty 2.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen, so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
After 20 minutes, it has been an exciting contest so far. Liberty 2, NC State 2 after the first period. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you here at the first intermission. And Nick, one of the things we talked about for NC State with the potential for maybe some bus legs, even though it was a short drive for Liberty, is getting off to a quick start, and boy, did they ever.
Yeah, what was it, 52 seconds in, something like that. NC State 1-0. Really, what a great play by Garrett Arini. He almost had another goal that topped that, believe it or not. Fortunately for him, it just missed wide of the net. Good rebound after that as well. But like we mentioned pregame, NC State's got to come out firing, and they certainly did. But unfortunately for the Iceback, it didn't last too long.
No, Liberty was able to pick up a goal. It was Luke Tucker who tied up the game on a pretty nice end-to-end play by the Liberty Flames, only about 55, 56 seconds later. So less than 2 minutes into the contest, it was already a 1-1 game. And then, as we talked about, it became really a slog through the neutral zone. It was tough to get through neutral ice and to establish things offensively. And then it was Liberty who scored the next one. So they got two unanswered. They took the lead, but you got to like the way that NC State responded late in the period.
Yeah, they kind of responded after really allowing Poland just to trail the play, walk right in, skate in for an easy goal right in the middle of the ice. That's something you need to account for. Never let the puck be right in the middle of the ice. Everyone always preaches it. Unfortunately for the Iceback happened there, but the response from them, we saw their emotions get a little chippy there. Maybe a penalty or two should have been called. The refs letting it play out. They know it's a rivalry game. And it ended up paying off with a beautiful goal to end the end of the first period there for the Icepack. Able to get it done, tie the game at 2, despite the shots only being 7-5 right now.
Yeah, so a great game so far. Maybe not so much for the goaltenders. We're going to take a quick break here during the first intermission. When we come back, we got the guy who set up both NC State goals and Zach Herman joining us on the other side. NC State 2, Liberty 2 after 20 minutes.
Welcome to Mo!
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Oh, stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money, so...
if you guys want any... OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog! He's a fake!
Oh! I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena at Wake Competition Center. I'm with the man that set up 2 goals, only got assisted for one of them, Mr. Tom Herman. Now, that first goal you had, you didn't get the assist. Arini made a good finish. What were your thoughts going through that first goal of setting it up?
I was kind of just trying to get back to the bench, but the guy kind of ran into me, and a little bit of a lucky puck popping out there, and Garrett, no questions, put it in the net.
Yeah, Garrett with a really impressive goal it was. He almost had a even more impressive one later in the game, couldn't capitalize on it. That second goal, however, you guys went down 2-1. What was the importance before that second goal leading into it, trying to even the game up going into the first intermission?
Yeah, I think it was more so just getting back to our game. It's pretty easy when you go down to kind of, energy come down, feet start slowing down a little bit. But when you can get one like that, level things out before you go get some wind in the locker room, then it's always good.
And then just wanted to touch on that second goal once more. Kind of mentioned it to me during that commercial break, how you were able to get that shot off and get that rebound in. So kind of describe to everybody what you were kind of saying as you were skating on in there looking for a shot.
Yeah, just trying to get it to the net. I knew someone was, coming down hot the other side. And, I knew time was kind of getting low in the period. You just want to put everything on net and hope that one pops out and you can put it in.
All right, well, Tom Herman, the man, only assisted on 1. Could have been 2. Definitely a big playmaker tonight with me right now. We'll be right back after this break.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
We talk forever about the future. Worry about it. We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go. From ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make. With bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
From the top of DH Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
We're about halfway through this first intermission here at Invisalign Arena. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you. NC State and Liberty locked in a 2-2 draw after one period. And I want to kind of focus here in this segment, Nick, on kind of the rivalry aspect of this game. One thing that I think stuck out to both of us in that first period was the physicality, and more so the physicality, the lopsidedness, I guess I should say, of the physicality. And I don't have an official total on hits, but certainly felt like Liberty was out hitting NC State significantly. And that's something you see in a rivalry game. Just you'd expect it not to be quite as one-sided as it's been.
Yeah, we mentioned this battle of the wagon wheel. It's going to be a pretty intense game. The emotions are going to arise. And we kind of saw Liberty kind of issue the shoulders. They issued all the hits early on. There were some big hits as well on a couple of Ice Pack players, about 5 or 6 in like the first 7 minutes of the game. NC State was struggling to answer back. Now they did answer back. It may or may not have been legal. The referee did not see it on that one hit. However, NC State started to get that physicality back, and then on that last goal, Tom Herman said physicality wasn't there from that defender, which allowed him to get that goal. So maybe NC State's trying to play it out a little bit differently, bring the intensity later on in the game, and let Liberty kind of dominate right now. And so far, it's 2-2. They're playing, if it is true, just working out so far.
Well, and certainly one of the things physicality is going to do to a team is wear them down, and that's something that's going to play a role. It might be something that Liberty is looking to play dividends for them tomorrow night as opposed to tonight. But as you mentioned, there were a couple of times where NC State did respond with some hits, and that's where kind of emotions come into things. That was another thing we talked about in the pregame, was the emotions of a rivalry game like this. And if you're NC State, got to keep those in check as well. We saw them in that Kentucky game with some retaliatory penalties that ended up costing them a little bit. You'd want to avoid that. I think for now it'll be interesting to see how the officials call the game going forward. There hasn't been anything crazy excessive so far, so I don't have a problem with no penalties, but if it does continue to escalate, it'll be interesting to see how the officials respond.
Yeah, and the referees, they did step in on one of the plays right in front of the net that Toyer took that bad bounce on, if you remember correctly. He got the puck, and then Liberty was a little bit up in arms at it, and NC State was defending their goalie. And I think the referees, though, they've done a pretty good job of letting the teams play. That's something you want to see. You don't want to see the referees step in and call a penalty every 5 minutes. I really like how the referees are calling this game. The emotions do arise, though. I think they'll start stepping in. Don't think they'll issue a penalty right away yet. We've seen a couple of questionable no calls maybe, but I think the referees right now overall doing a really good job.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, again, how everything pans out as this game goes forward. Plenty of action still left. We had 4 goals in the first 20 minutes. We still have 40 left. We're going to take another break here at Invisalign Arena. When we come back, we'll take a look forward at what adjustments these two teams need to make, particularly probably in that neutral zone as we head into period number 2. Again, after one period, it's NC State 2, Liberty 2.
Life is for learning, and that doesn't stop with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. NC State. Think and do.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. From the top of DH Hill Library.
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Chris Lehman, Nick Prozzi back with you here at Invisalign Arena at the first intermission. NC State Liberty locked in a 2-2 draw right now. And Nick, I want to look forward as we're closing in on the start of the second period at this next period and what these two teams need to do. As we've talked about, it's been something we talked about in the pregame was NC State kind of got beat by opportunity, I guess you could say, in that Kentucky game when Kentucky had the opportunities they finished. For the two teams tonight, 4 goals on 12 shots. Not too shabby. They're taking advantage of the opportunities that are there. It's just nothing is kind of coming out of the system. It's all coming off of turnovers and plays made at the blue line.
And I think sometimes that can be your system, is to play off those mistakes, force those mistakes. And we've seen that happen a couple of times, like you've mentioned. All 4 goals really haven't came with any offensive zone time. The only one may have been that second goal by Liberty where Poland was coming across, but he wasn't even in the blue line before he even got the puck. 1 second later, he was inside the offensive zone and scored the goal. So I think this second period, both teams, they need to get something going in the neutral zone. I think they need to work more on puck control. We've seen Liberty dump the puck a lot of times trying to get offensive zone time. It's worked from them a little bit, but they're not able to get a shot off. And I think it's just because both teams match up really well, and it's causing kind of this just back and forth grinding between each other.
Yeah, it's something that can definitely happen when you have a game where two teams play at the similar style and they play it at a similar speed. So I think for NC State, to me, the biggest thing, and this, I say it's a big thing, it's really kind of a minor thing. I'd like to see a little bit more physicality out of NC State. I'd like to see a little bit more given back to Liberty. They've been coming at NC State. You've heard me say it a couple of times where guys had to absorb a hit after he's gotten rid of the puck, and that's all within the bounds of play. There's nothing wrong with what Liberty's doing, but if you're NC State, you got to respond to it a little bit, I think. You have to start wearing them down the way that they're trying to wear NC State down. Now, you don't want to do it to an extent where it takes you out of your game, because I don't think NC State is a team that's overly physical. They're not going to bully you into a win. That's not how they do it, but I do think there needs to be a little bit of a response there physically just to reestablish themselves as we get into the second period. Well, we're down under 4 minutes until we get things started again here at Invisalign Arena. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll be ready for puck drop between NC State and Liberty for the second period.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. NC State. Think and do.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. The two teams taking to the ice as we get set for period number 2. Chris Lehman alongside Nick Perazzi as we get set for this period. Nick, we talked a little bit about it, but as everything gets going here, one thing we haven't talked too much about is the atmosphere here tonight. As we've talked about, it's going to be a little bit different because of the timing of the game, not quite as many fans in the building, but that's something to keep an eye out for, see if these fans help out in a tight game like this.
Yeah, and I think going into the second period right now, NC State could definitely use a little bit of a boost in a tie game right now with Liberty, needing that extra little bit to get going for this second period. However, Liberty's used to playing in pretty intense environments. They're used to playing in environments like this where it's not the sellout crowd that will do it, but it's still an energetic crowd. And the second period, I don't know if the crowd's going to play that big of a factor going into it, especially with just how tightly matched these teams are. But it could put NC State over the edge if this game wasn't a 9:30 Thursday night game, the Thursday before fall break.
And I think the other thing to keep an eye out for in the second period is the fact that it's a long change for these two teams. So it's a little bit harder to get off. That's where things might open up a little bit more in the neutral zone. It's something we didn't touch on in that intermission. It's that the neutral zone was really, it felt like the toughest area for both of these teams. That could open up a little bit more here in the second with that long change. NC State going to get a chance here early, though. In comes Robinson, drags, shot, keeping the pads on the ice to seal it off. There is Bernstein. NC State will keep the pressure on offensively. Sent up the wall by Liberty. Frosch pinches in to hold it along the wall. Tries to push it back to a teammate in Govea, unable to connect, and Liberty clears it back into the NC State zone. Bouncing puck in neutral ice, settled down by the Flames and swept deep. Now Robinson takes a hit on the near side from Hauk. He'll rip it off that far wall. It banks all the way down and in, and he was behind the red line when he did that, so icing is the call. Offensive zone faceoff for the Ice Pack.
Kind of seeing that chance going on by once you get that breakaway. And then we're seeing more complimentary hockey where just not much going on offensively. Story of the first period. It's been the story of the first 51 seconds of the second period.
Liberty controls off the draw. They're able to carry it out of their own end. That's Dylan Kent. Lugs it in. Whips one wide of Toyer. Now the net's off its moorings right now. We'll see if anyone notices. Liberty still has the offensive zone pressure. Dylan Kent dispossessed. NC State collects. It's Bailey at the red line. He'll gain the line and send it in. Bernstein behind the net. Sets it on a tee. NC State on the forecheck, though, forces a turnover. Loose at the near blue line. Backhanded in by Labrizzi, collected by Liberty, and it's Kaner moving forward. His headman pass was deflected away. NC State moves out. Now it's Bailey. Doesn't have any help, though. He's just going to sweep it into the near corner and hope he gets some help from his friends on that side. Lamoureux collects it, moves it forward himself, has space through the neutral zone with speed into the offensive end. He'll wrap it behind the net, turns with it, fires over the net and into the far corner. Now Holden Kaufman picks it up for NC State. He's got pace through neutral ice. Can't carry it around the defense. And now a quick transition play, and it's Liberty with the break. Shot coming, and it's elevated up over the net there by Antonio Vidal. Back and forth we go. This time it's Nick Shook for NC State. Could be a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Shook fires away. It's off the stick of Reese Poulin, and it missed wide of Bernstein. This has been a great pace to start this period. A little more free-flowing through neutral ice, too. Some chances for both sides, Nick.
I think that's the adjustments that both teams had made as we get a pretty big line change going on for Liberty right now. The adjustments teams made during that intermission has caused for this kind of free-flowingness. They're still playing very fast, and they're still trying to get to the net as quick as possible. As see Liberty Tucker, it's kind of lagging behind the play here as Liberty finally gets repossession of the puck.
And part of that, I think, was the line changes we were speaking of. It's tough to get where you need to get the change. Liberty has space to break out, though. Errant pass. And it's loose in neutral ice, collected by Luke Tucker. Scored that first goal for Liberty. Moves it forward for Josh Martin, powering his way to the net, but can't direct it on goal. And now Aiden Brenner in control for the Ice Pack. He goes backwards for Mackinnon. Or pardon me, that's Ricky Frosch behind the net. Now Frosch, weighing his options, decides to carry it out himself. His centering pass deflected and stolen. Back the other way, it's Tucker for Liberty. Trying to force it into the middle. Puck pinballs through there. Liberty able to gain control in the high slot. It was the defenseman Logan Starkey who's dispossessed. Now NC State turns it back the other way. Logan Todd looking to the middle. Can't connect with a teammate. And now it's Tucker back the other way for Liberty. Loads one up. The wrister sails high. Liberty holds the zone. Dylan Kent near point. Takes the shot. Toyer finds it through traffic and makes the save. And now to be elevated out of play by Aiden Brenner. Faceoff will stay in the NC State end. And notably, because NC State just cleared it out of play, they cannot make a change, so tired bodies stay on the ice here.
Corey Owens for Liberty. My goodness, he fanned on a shot that probably would have been a goal on the stick side of Toyer if he just elevated it. He fans on it. He's going to want to win this faceoff, get another chance at it.
To be Liberty in control off the draw. Aaron Higgins loses an edge. Had some help there from Cade Cox. The Liberty bench wanted a hand up, but will play on. And now it's tangled up over on the far side. That was number 25, Scott Daniel, who it was under. Eventually it comes loose. Liberty back on the attack. They have had a lot of sustained pressure in the offensive zone here in the first 4 minutes and change. They'll hold the zone once again. Ender Mill. Dropped back for Dylan Kent. High slot. He'll take the shot. Ooh, I'm not sure Toyer saw it as it whistled wide. And finally, NC State clears it out. And the puck on edge is going to roll right in towards the goal. So no icing, and NC State can get a fresh forward line out on the ice. They've still got tired bodies defensively in Cade Cox and Ricky Frosch. But that fresh offensive line might be able to help out. Our first intermission interview, Zach Herman on that far side forces it in. His teammate Zach Robinson helping out behind the net now. Loose puck there. Liberty collects it at the defense. And now they'll look up the near side. Pull in. Able to find Higgins. He'll go rink wide, intended for Endermill. It's off his stick and into that far corner where NC State can regather. Govea looking across ice. That's stolen away by Matley. He's going to walk in, tucks it around and scores. Oh my goodness. Slick mitts there from number 28. And Liberty back on top 3-2.
That is one of the greatest goals I think I've ever seen. We're going to get a good replay of this. NC State not able to break it out. Bad turnover. Skating malfunction. The Deeks going on to get Toyer off his line. A beautiful goal. I mentioned it in our last broadcast. That one might be a da-da-da tonight.
That was a heck of a play by Matley. And again, it's blue line play. A turnover at the blue line that ends up in the back of the net. And Liberty takes back a 1-goal lead. 14 and a half minutes left in this second period. It has been just about all Flames here this period. They've been able to get established in the offensive end, and I think part of it is that long change. NC State has not been able to get out of their own end, get fresh bodies on the ice, and as a result, it just continues to get harder and harder in your own end. McConaughey swings it out of the zone for NC State. Once again, though, they can't possess past the red line. Lamoureux for the Liberty. Leaves it there. Kaner finds Vidal. Back to the near side. Shot in, a blocker save made by Toyer. Still loose on the side of the net. Toyer seals the post. And now the net gets knocked off its moorings. And we'll get a face-off. But Isaac Toyer, a couple of big stops there, Nick.
Yeah, he's very fortunate, too, that the oncoming attacker kind of just lost his skating. And then once Toyer made that initial save, the puck was still loose, almost a shot off the back of him. Was going to get into the net. We're going to get a replay coming up in a second about this last play. Once again, the neutral zone push by Liberty is going to get it 2-on-1. And like I mentioned, that's Nathan Mulder, the one that kind of just lost his footing, had a really good chance at it. And then on the back end, Antonio Vidal was trying to shovel one off the back of Toyer. Two really great chances for Liberty, not able to capitalize Could have been 4-2 very easily on 2 chances there.
Liberty off the offensive zone draw, trying to set up, unable to hold on to possession though. And now NC State moves it across ice. Garrett Arini has it taken away. And again, NC State just getting across the red line with the puck has been tough. Wrist shot padded away by Isaac Toyer. That was Thomas Kaner with the opportunity. Now NC State looking to carry it out. Emery Oliver up for Philip Bailey, trying to weave through the defense. Has it knocked off his stick. Loose puck picked up by Ricky Frosch. He'll lift it in. NC State trying to get in on the forecheck as Arini knocks the puck loose. He'll collect in that far corner. Looking for some help in the middle. Tied up was Emery Oliver. NC State still in control. Cade Cox looking for a shooting lane. It's not there, so he'll walk the line. Throws it towards the goal, and wow, good vision there from Nick Bernstein to snag that one. It wasn't on goal, but a nice job to control that one and get the change that his team needed.
Yeah, Cade Cox had a really good chance. He did the right thing, though. He stayed in his position. If he cheats up, that puck is deflected. Liberty's got a great chance on the other end. He stays back. Yeah, it may have cost him a chance at a good shot on goal. We'll get another face-off coming up, but he stayed strong. But how about Liberty? The pressure that they put on. I think that's what's causing NC State not being able to break out, Chris. They're putting a lot of pressure on the puck, and once they get that puck in their possession, they're quickly moving it down the ice, getting these good chances, 2-on-1 to 3-on-2 that we've seen.
NC State wins the offensive zone draw. Thrown to the net, hit a stick, and popped up over the net. Good chance there for NC State. We talked about how dominant Liberty has been in the second period. They're out shooting the Ice Pack right now 6-1 in period number 2. As a weak Squibbler slides in on Toyer, he'll freeze the puck for another faceoff.
Watch Liberty able to break out here. Able to get a good chance. It does go into Sawyer's mitt, however. They're doing a great job breaking out, getting bodies flying up and down the ice. Like we mentioned, the bus legs, they're not really existent right now for Liberty, and they're really showing it this second period.
Flames can't possess off that offensive zone draw this time. NC State will break it out. Philip Bailey down that far left wing, protects the puck, tried to slide it to the near post, missed just wide. NC State will hold it at the blue line though. Over on the far side, Oliver, turnaround shot, missed the net. We pinned in that near corner again. Wrapped up the wall for Jack Strong. He'll send it right back behind the net. There defensively for Liberty, Josh Martin pins his man to the wall, and this time Strong can't hold the blue line on the near side. Liberty has the manpower to move it forward. It'll be backhanded in by Cooper Neal, and the Flames go in on the forecheck now. NC State looking for the quick breakout. Govea off the skate of a teammate in Herman. It'll be picked up by Strong, but he's immediately dispossessed. Now Liberty looking for the stretch pass. That's too long, and NC State will get back for an icing, and they'll have an offensive zone draw coming up.
I think what's giving NC State a lot of problems right now, trying to break the puck out, is kind of this forecheck that Liberty has. NC State brings it across the blue line against the boards. Liberty's able to there to pounce with 2 skaters right on top of them. If they want to go with the stretch pass, they've got someone in that passing lane. They're doing a fantastic job at limiting the breakouts by NC State. And then, like I said earlier, they're being able to break it out really easily.
NC State defenseman Alex James knocked down from behind. NC State still able to control 2-on-1 if they hurry now. Govea over for Herman. They can't connect. Good chance there for NC State, but they can't capitalize. Herman looking behind the net. His pass denied. Takes an awkward carom off a stanchion out into the slot. Robinson trying to gain control for the Ice Pack. Can't do so. Now Liberty still looking to clear. James pins the wall and forces Liberty to go to the other side. NC State picks up the loose puck. McConaughey to James. His pass disrupted. Liberty takes back over. Higgins moving in, has an open man down the far side. Blocker save made by Toyer. He gets across and makes the save on the rebound as well. A lot of traffic in front. Toyer doing a great job finding the puck. Shot from the point. Hit a couple of bodies on the way through and ends up over top of the net. But again, Liberty getting pressure in the offensive zone. Herman trying to battle his way up for it as McConaughey moved it out of the zone. Liberty takes back over. Owens rips a shot wide, comes off the wall hard. Another chance, and it's sent wide. And the whistle came. Looks like maybe believe the net came off its moorings on the near post. So that's what stopped play there, but maybe a little relief there for NC State with the pressure Liberty had, Nick.
That second save that Toyer just made, I don't think he saw that shot from Corey Owens. I think he was just sliding over, doing what he had to do to slide over, follow the puck, and once he was doing that, the puck kind of hit him in the mask. And right place, right time keeps this a one-goal game right now.
Just about to the halfway point of this game. 3-2 Liberty. Weren't able to get a shot off on that chance in front there off the face-off, but they will control again in the neutral zone. Good pressure from NC State. They're unable to jar the puck loose as David Hauk sends it around the wall and in. Mulder unable to hold the blue line, and Liberty will retreat. At the red line, it's Nathan Mulder again. Chips it and chases. James first to it for NC State. Button hooks. Trying to find space for himself. Looks up the middle for Daniel. He can't handle it. Back the other way. It's Hauk. He's got Matt Lee with him. Hauk shot, bodied away by Toyer. And I think he's got an issue with his mask right now. He's trying to get the attention of the officials. It's not going to matter because NC State has iced the puck, and he'll get a chance to fix it anyhow.
I think it got messed up when he took that shot off of his mask and he made that save. I think that's exactly what happened. He's able to get that stoppage on the icing, but once again, he's talking to the official now saying, hey, why did you not stop the play for me? But the icing will do that, and it's going to get a little delay here because of that.
It'll be Thomas Kaner on the draw for Liberty up against NC State's Scott Daniel. Kaner wins the draw. Liberty looking to get one to the net. Kaner's shot got blocked up in front. Still loose, low slot collected by Lamoureux, trying to wrap it around. Bouncing puck, and Toyer going to swallow it up in the crease. But I tell you, Toyer's had quite a workout here in the first 10.5 of the second period.
If you want a definition for chaos in front of the net, that was chaos in front of the net. Bouncing puck, bodies flying to the puck, puck around the net, puck getting shot off your back. The puck was everywhere around that blue line. The chaos was there. Toyer stayed composed. He was able to stay in front the entire time. Liberty just not able to get the right bounce onto their sticks. NC State did a good job keeping out, but Liberty's crashing the net right now, and that's something to be concerned about if you're NC State defensively.
Yeah, I think if you're Liberty, you're not overly concerned about the fact they only have one goal this period. It's going to come if they continue to do what they're doing. Puck behind the NC State net. Cade Cox has it pinned to the wall. A couple of Liberty Flames there force him to move. Liberty back in control. It's Lamoureux protecting the puck behind the net. Turnaround shot whipped wide. Wraps its way back up to the blue line. Logan Starkey looks to shoot. That's deflected to the middle. Nick Shook picks it up. Has it knocked off his stick, but right behind him is McConaughey to take it in. McEnany centering pass. Deflected over to the near wall. Again, NC State just has not really been able to establish themselves in the offensive end, and they've got a whistle as to do with something away from the puck. It might just be Antonio Vidal's face mask has come loose.
Chris, he took a massive hit from Holden Kaufman against the boards. Sent him right into it, right in front of the NC State bench. That's why I gave a little exclamation in there. He's going to go to the bench. What a hit there. I thought they were going to call a penalty on that because it's very excessive. May have been a charge, but nonetheless, no call. We get a stoppage for the mask being dislodged.
That's something I think NC State needs a little bit of. We talked about responding with a little bit of physicality of their own, but at this point, I think the big thing for NC State's finding a way to get into the offensive end, because they had that little flurry early on in the period. Since then, nothing. As a matter of fact, just one shot on the period for NC State to 9 for Liberty. So it has been pretty much all Flames here so
That's
far
going to
in
be
the
a
second.
tripping.
And now we're going to get a little bit extra help, as you mentioned there, Nick, a tripping penalty coming up. And this is going to be a crucial penalty kill for NC State. This game is definitely tipping in Liberty's favor. Now they've got the first power play of the game and a chance to open up the first multiple goal lead as well.
Yeah, Emery Oliver's going to get 2 minutes to the box for that trip right there. This is a very big moment in this game. NC State, like we mentioned in the pregame, they haven't played a full 60 minutes of hockey all season. And this period has really shown it. They really haven't played that well the last really 11 minutes since this period started, and now a crucial power play. This is one of those scenarios you get every season where it kind of inflexes where you are to the team. This is kind of that good progress report you'll see right now. Is NC State there? Are they really a for real team in terms of the intensity through all 60 minutes?
Liberty controls off the face-off. They'll be able to set up the power play now. Starkey on the near circle. Turns to shoot. Hit a body in front. I believe it was Jack Strong who blocked that shot. Deflects over to the far corner. Liberty able to hold the zone. Starkey again gets the pass from Pullen. Gives it back high slot. This time it's Herman, with the block shot. And again, Liberty retrieves the rebound. NC State trying to clog it up on that far wall. But the Flames hold the zone for the moment. Strong gets to it in the near corner. He'll clear the zone. NC State can make some changes to the penalty kill. 40 seconds gone on the Liberty man advantage and a tripping penalty to Emery Oliver. But the Ice Pack looks like everybody but Jack Strong got off from that penalty killing unit. Lamoureux walking through. Oh, and he caught the shoulder of Toyer on the shot on the near side. NC State trying to clear. Strong unable to hold possession of the puck. Now it's Dylan Kent walking the blue line. Over to the far side, trying to slide a pass through the middle. He missed Luke Tucker, but Liberty able to maintain the pressure. Lamoureux turns tight on Arini. Beautiful cross-ice pass, and unable to get the shot away in time was Aaron Higgins. It was deflected by the stick of Ricky Frosch out of play, but a beautiful pass there from Lamoureux.
Yeah, NC State had two really good chances to clear the puck, but really just sloppy play, not being able to make the right decision, which was to clear it, and then kind of just losing the puck, giving Liberty that really good chance on that cross-ice pass. Higgins had to let the puck settle down before he could get that shot. Otherwise, he had a really good chance of making this 4-2.
Kaner and Govea on the draw. NC State's Joey Govea wins the draw, but Liberty keeps the zone. They've still got 40 seconds left on the power play. Shot by Lamoureux, deflected wide of the net, and as the puck sits behind the net, they chase for it and knock the net off the moorings. But that was, she caught a shot pass there from Lamoureux. He was looking for the stick of Luke Tucker, who deflected it just wide. That was a great play.
I think Roman Lamoureux is really going to be the X factor in this rest of this game. The speed and the stick handling he has. Got a couple of great chances so far. He's sitting behind the faceoff circle right here. Watching the rest of this power play. If Liberty gets another chance as NC State wins the faceoff.
They win the draw, but they can't clear. Lamoureux in control up here at the blue line. Loses it. NC State with a shorthanded chance as Aiden Brenner takes it and runs. He's looking to the middle for some help. Centering pass is disrupted, and they score! Oh. Well, I'm not sure what happened. Bernstein went to cover it, and then it ended up behind him and in the net, and a shorthanded goal ties things up with 6:51 to go in the second.
I'm not sure what happened. A little bit of announcer's jinx on my part. I think what happens is when Bernstein, right there, Bernstein goes to hit the puck back into his mitt, and then skating on in to kind of disrupt that was at Aiden Brenner, and because of that, either Brenner may have kind of forced that puck in while Bernstein was trying to freeze it, or Bernstein just hit the puck too hard back to himself and it went into the net. A massive break for the Ice Pack in a game that seemed like it was teetering 4-2. We're tied at 3 now as the referees converge to talk about that last play.
Well, and the key thing is there, and we'll see if we get another look at the replay, when Bernstein goes to cover the puck, you can see him, and we'll get it. It looks like sounds like we're going to get another look at it here, but you can see here, and wait till we see the goaltender Bernstein go to cover the puck here, and you'll see it. He goes to cover, and then you see the tap of the glove by Brenner. That's what caused the puck to go in the net. I don't know that the officials can overturn it. We get the luxury of seeing the replay, and kudos to our crew up here for getting that angle for us. That was a beautiful shot. But that one, if you have replay, I think that goal comes back, but there's no way for them to bring it back, and NC State's going to catch a break here.
Yeah, no replay in the ACC hockey. And right now, ref's still talking to Liberty's bench, asking for the clarification there. It was one of those bang-bang plays, and it's going to be a massive lucky break for the Ice Pack, something they really haven't had in games like this year. Still 17 seconds on this power play for Liberty. They've still dominated this period, but now you look at the scoreboard, it doesn't reflect that.
Yeah, NC State just their second shot of the period. I'm not even sure if it's the shot that went in the net, but it is NC State with a shorthanded goal, what could potentially be a turning point as they tie the game up shorthanded. They're going to go right back to work on the penalty kill. Govea looking to send it deep. It'll be stopped up at the Liberty blue line, and they'll turn back the other way. Penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-5. Govea over on the far wall has it stolen away by Indermill. They'll send it deep, but Liberty trying to get a change. Doesn't have anyone there for the forecheck. D-to-D pass for Mulder. Back for Hauk. And now a pass got deflected on the way through. Ends up all the way behind the NC State net. Ice Pack looking to break out. Bailey avoids a hit. Can't clear, though. Liberty keeps the pressure on. Cox tries to poke it out of the zone. Mulder holds, and now a deflected puck out of play will result in a face-off here on top of the NC State blue line.
Feels like that penalty kill and that shorthanded goal is giving NC State a little bit of energy. They didn't really hold the puck there for that long, but you could tell they're playing with a lot more energy. They're more juiced up because of that. And Liberty's having a hard time trying to set back up. Granted, that again, that power play had just ended, but for the majority of the period, Liberty was getting chances like that, taking opportunities and getting a lot of shots offensively.
Liberty wins the draw. They'll skate it into the zone. It's David Hauk. Throws it wide of the net. It wraps around the wall and up that far side. First one to it is Eric Abate. NC State, though, able to knock it off his stick and out of the zone. At the blue line, it's Hauk again. Looking over. He finds Abate. Shot deflected wide. They'll fight for it in the near corner now. NC State forces it up the wall. Great glove play made by Pollock to hold the zone. But again, Liberty needs some change. Need some guys to change, I should say, so they don't have all the pressure they need on that forecheck. That leaves space for NC State. Pass to the middle has Cowan. He's going to pull the trigger. He scores! It hit the defenseman in front and deflects past Bernstein. And just like that, NC State is back on top 4-3.
Just bad passing in the neutral zone. It's been about that all night, the neutral zone. And Cowan, he gets a deflection. It went off of Thomas Kaner and went into the net, the forward. And a period that Liberty's dominated for the first really 14, 15 minutes. It's 4-3 Ice Pack. They have 2 of the 3 goals this period and are out in front now. A crazy turn of events. This game has been flipped upside down.
Oh, I've not seen this very often. Well, and now to go switch back. McEnany had just been moved to toss from the face-off circle. He will take the draw for NC State, but it is won by Thomas Kaner of Liberty. NC State with a forecheck, though, making it difficult for the Flames to break out of the zone. Now that they do, though, they've got space. Lamoureux with speed. Off the pad of Toyer. Juicy rebound with an open net, and Liberty got no one there to finish. Nick Shook now moving back to the neutral zone. He'll be bodied off the puck by Logan Johnson. And Liberty back in possession. Dylan Kent swings it up the near wall. NC State pinching at the blue line, and it'll deflect up into the Ice Pack bench for another faceoff.
I think what's cost Liberty this period is they've definitely held the offensive zone time. They've definitely had the puck, the chances, but 1 or 2 sloppy passes, and there hasn't even been that many that Liberty has made. That's what's cost them right now. 2 big breakaways for NC State has given them the 2 goals this period and the goal advantage right now. And we've seen NC State make some bad passes, but these moves in their offensive end on these breakaways is what's caused NC State to get this lead.
And they go right back on the attack. Zach Herman picked up the loose puck off the faceoff. He's got it again at the blue line. Lost an edge and lost the puck. Liberty moving back the other way with it now. It's Josh Martin cutting across the high slot as it poked off his stick. Now Joey Govea takes a hit, loses the puck behind the net. Jack Strong there to pick it up, though, for the Ice Pack. Again, the forecheck for Liberty, making it difficult, forcing it down that far wall. Daniel Hauk behind the net. NC State again looking to break out. Now up the near side. Robinson sends it off the wall, not strong enough, but we've got a whistle and a penalty. And now NC State will be getting their first power play of the game, it looks like.
Penalty is going to be on number 17, Luke Tucker. Came away from the play. Not sure what it is.
I believe I saw a signal for roughing there.
Roughing.
Either way, it's a 2-minute minor to Tucker. And with exactly 4 minutes left in the second period, NC State has a chance to start to kind of take control of this game. When, as we talked about not that long ago, it felt like that was slipping away a bit.
Yeah, and Liberty with a bad break there because Jack Strong for NC State broke his stick. Remember, this is the second period. It's a long way down for the line change, so we had a long way to go, and it looked like Liberty was about to get the puck back, but big break for the Ice Pack.
Cade Cox walking with it for NC State as they get the power play started. Cross-ice pass intended for Herman. It was behind him. Now a shorthanded chance brewing for Liberty. In they come to the net, and it's knocked away. We've got a penalty coming on NC State as Thomas Kaner had his stick slashed out of his hand. That's an easy call to make for the official. And as quickly as NC State got the power play, it's going to go away. Cade Cox, 2 minutes slashing.
Yeah, Cade Cox gets out of position on the breakaway. The chance there for Liberty was a 3-on-2 chance for Liberty on the shorthand, which is something you rarely will ever see. And Cade Cox gets out of position trying to defend the good chance by Liberty there. And unfortunately, because he got out of position, he had to make things go his way, take things into his own matter. It's going to result in 2 minutes in the box room with 3:38 to go.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting minute 39. The scoreboard shows a 5-minute penalty. That's not right. That's just a typo, we'll call it, on the scoreboard. But it'll be a 2-minute penalty. Only 21 seconds elapsed on the power play for NC State. So minute 39 of 4-on-4 before a 21-second power play for Liberty. So a lot of space, a lot of room to create for both of these teams who have plenty of skill players. NC State gets it out of their own end. Liberty will get set up back in their defensive zone. 3:23 to go in the second period. 1:20 left on the 4-on-4. Flames force it deep. Pollock in the corner for Liberty. It's taken away by Jack Strong. NC State, if they hurry, have an odd man rush. Strong has it knocked off his stick. Herman able to collect the loose puck, but he's immediately dispossessed, and Liberty turns it back the other way. Reese pulling. Little chip pass, not on the same page as Lamoureux. He'll turn it over. Strong again for NC State. 50 seconds left of 4-on-4. Just under 3 minutes left in the period. Stretch pass. Strong looking for McEnany, and they force him to stretch out a little bit too much, and that'll be icing on NC State. Pardon me, that was an 8, not a 9, so Herman was the intended target. Either way, defensive zone draw for NC State here.
Well, they call it a stretch pass for a reason. You're going to stretch the length of the ice. You're going to have your offensive player on the other side of the ice stretch his stick out. It doesn't work like that where you stretch your whole body out, unfortunately.
Herman will take the draw up against Martin of Liberty, and NC State able to win that draw. Up the near side, Garrett Arini trying to slip one through for Herman. That one didn't connect, and NC State will get a quick change as they're approaching a abbreviated penalty kill. Walking through the neutral zone right now, though, Logan Starkey teed one up and missed wide. NC State back in possession. It's Govea. Weaving up the far side. He's got some space, gained some speed. Bodied off the puck, though, nicely over on that far side. Man, it laid that hit. Logan Starkey picks it up, moves it to the near side for Indermill. Sweeping past the middle, catches a skate, deflects back to Dylan Kent. Liberty defenseman goes back to the blue line. Shot taken by Starkey. That one missed. Penalty over for Liberty's Tucker. It's 5-on-4 very briefly for the Flames. See what they can do with it. Over to the far side. Kent walking in. Floats one over top, and it just missed. Toyer had no idea where it was. And the power play will end for the Flames now. That brief 21-second man advantage. Hauk has it knocked off his stick as coming off the bench was Scott Daniel. NC State clears it out. Philip Bailey gets to it for the ice pack. Looking to the middle for Daniel, can't connect. And now Liberty looking to transition back up the ice. Matley already has one tonight. Steps to the middle. Shot patted away by Toyer. Liberty holds the zone. Shot from Mulder. Deflects wide. Now Bailey on the far side for NC State can't clear as it's gloved down by Dylan Kent at the blue line. Now Hauk again. Shot blockered away by Toyer. Just over 60 seconds left in this period. NC State needs a little bit of relief here. Puck escapes to neutral ice. Liberty sends it right back in. Jackson Cowan first to it for NC State. Daniel leaves it for Frosch behind the net. Again, Cowan. NC State just trying to slow things down here late in the period. Here's Bailey. Looking to the middle, just elevates it into the Liberty end. But the Ice Pack desperately need to get some fresh bodies on the ice. These guys have been trapped out there for a while now. Zach Robinson did trade places with Scott, but now NC State's going to ice the puck, and so most of their tired bodies stay out there.
Yeah, the icing's not going to help, especially last 31 seconds. We've seen a lot of crazy things this game. It could always get crazier, and the way everyone is kind of skating out there right now, looking for that next big chance, trying to get an odd number rush, and we're seeing that a lot. Liberty in the offensive zone here. They've been trying to set it up lately. They've had a couple of great chances. They just can't find to get the puck with the lucky bounce into the net.
It's off the draw, now under 30 seconds left in the period. Puck stopped up at the red line, and now Liberty reverses play. Kaner's shot hits a body on the way through. Loose puck, top of the circles, picked up by NC State's Daniel. He'll carry it down the near right wing with 10 seconds to go. He gains the line. Sends it across the middle, steered away by the goaltender Bernstein, and Liberty clears it out. Cowan off the wall. That should finish off this second period. Well, not quite. Well, let's see what they decide to do. I think they're just going to run off the rest of the clock and end the second period, and that's exactly what they'll do. But we talked about, Nick, what would NC State do if they got proverbially punched in the mouth, and they responded well this period.
Yeah, they got a little bit of luck as well to respond to getting punched in the mouth, as Tim Healy would call it. They're walking away this period up 4-3, and they're being outshot right now by 9. If you told someone that coming into this period, you'd think NC State will be down at least a goal or 2 or 3. Instead, they're the ones that are up in this game because of those lucky chances, because of their hard finishing abilities.
So NC State gets the last 2 goals of the period. One from Aiden Brenner, shorthanded. The other from Jackson Cowan not long after. And after 40 minutes, it's NC State 4, Liberty 3.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
When you look at me, you might see
a person with Parkinson's disease.
But if you look closer,
you'll see a warrior mom,
an endurance athlete,
someone with a lot of fight.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association.
Look closer.
My spirit is unshakable. Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Well, despite being outshot 15-4 in period number 2, NC State takes a 4-3 lead into the third and final period. Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi with you here at the second intermission. And Nick, a bit of a surprising result to the period as Liberty really carried the play for most of that 20 minutes.
Yeah, Liberty was dominating the time of possession, the offensive zone. That's why they got that first goal. They were just getting the puck on net. They were crashing bodies to the net. But then the tide kind of shifted. We saw that power play with Liberty. We thought at that point, it's going to be a 4-2 game. The Ice Pack are going to be in pretty big trouble coming up. But a lucky break for the Ice Pack, getting an unfortunate goal. I don't want to call it a fluke goal, but an unfortunate goal for Liberty. And then they're able to answer right back after that with a deflected goal in. So Liberty hasn't really had a lot of luck go this way, despite their dominance in the offensive end.
Well, and puck luck is certainly a term in hockey for a reason. NC State benefiting a little bit from that. But I think the thing that I like the most about the way this team has played so far is the fact that they've been able to get back up off the mat, so to speak, after getting knocked down. They scored the first goal against Liberty. They gave it right back in less than a minute and then ended up down 2-1. But late in the period, in that first period, they were able to find the equalizer. In the second period, they were down. They were rope-a-doping up against the ropes. Liberty had them on their heels, and even shorthanded down a goal, they were able to find the equalizer and very quickly after that find the go-ahead goal. So the way that they've responded to me has been the most impressive thing so far. But one of the things I think we need to address here is we talked about the question mark in goal for Liberty. Nick Bernstein, his first appearance in a Flames uniform, and it's difficult, especially in that second period. I don't want to fault him too much. We talked about that one goal that if there's replay, probably gets called back. When you only face 4 shots, when it's an inconsistent pressure, it can really be difficult on a goaltender to stay in the game.
And even then, you can still put that one questionable call on him because he went to the stick to knock it back. And if you looked on the replay, it didn't quite get to the front of his glove. He was kind of late to smack his glove down on the ice to stop it. And it kind of got to the back part where your hand kind of is. And that's what caused the contact for the puck to keep moving. So it wasn't technically fully frozen, in my opinion. But you did mention the inexperience. This is his first time playing for Liberty. Like we talked when we talked to Coach Hughes before the game, he mentioned how we got to get him out there. We got to see what he brings to the table. And right now, 2 goals that you kind of hate to see, that might play a big factor. And especially if the Ice Pack take a 5th goal to go up by at least 2. Maybe we see a bit of a goaltending change.
Yeah, and I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think particularly in this period, the 2 goals are hard to fault him for. I think, like we said, likely going to get the one called back. NC State, though, he played to the whistle, and NC State gets the benefit of that. The second goal he gives up, it's deflected in front of him. Got to give some credit to the defenseman for making the effort, but it ends up kind of costing his goaltender, and so there's not a lot he can do. And like I said, an inconsistent amount of work throughout the period makes it a little bit difficult as well. But it all adds up to a 4-3 lead for NC State over Liberty after the first 2 periods. We're going to step aside. We'll come back here at the second intermission after 40 minutes. 4-3 Ice Pack.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
It's hard to always know what's going on with your kids. The Talk They Hear You mobile app and Screen for Success tool can help. The mobile app shows you how to turn everyday situations into opportunities to talk with your kids about alcohol and other drugs. Screen for Success helps you find out if your child needs more support by asking about their health, wellness, and well-being. Keep your kids safe and healthy. Download the free Talk They Hear You mobile app and start using Screen for Success today.
Chris Lehman back with Ice Pack assistant coach Eric Mura here at the second intermission. NC State 4-3 lead over Liberty right now. And Eric, as we take a look at that period, we talked about it a little bit in our last intermission segment there, is you get outshot 15-4, but you find yourselves on the right end of the scoreboard outscoring Liberty 2-1 that period. You got to like the opportunistic aspect of this game for your team.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there. I mean, I think we got a little puck luck that period, honestly. Yep. Being outshot 15-4 is not ideal by any means. We kind of need to clean up our D zone a little bit. I think be stronger on the puck is kind of our key right now, right? So it's just kind of keep on moving forward. I mean, we got that 20 minutes behind us. We got 20 minutes to go, and we'll keep on trucking along, right?
You mentioned that defensive zone, and as the coach kind of focuses a little bit more on that D end, what was it that Liberty was doing? They made it really difficult to get out of the zone. What was it about what they were doing that made it so difficult?
Yeah, so I think it's their forecheck, right? So what they're doing is they're coming in really hard, and they're also kind of concealing the boards really well, right? So we're trying to go up the boards too much, where I think we can try to look for that center lane pass out for that, our center flying, and to give us a little more opportunity with coming out with speed. So I think if we can get off the boards a little bit, make some more direct passes, I think we'll be able to find some more success getting the puck out of the D zone.
Another thing that I've liked a lot about the way your team has played here this evening is the responsiveness that they've had. They respond to going down 2-1. They respond to going down 3-2. What can you say about the bounce back ability of this team tonight?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks is accountability, right? Is kind of, put it on your shoulders a little bit. Put it on as a team, like, what are you going to do? What's our next shift going to be like? What's our next, how are we going to forecheck harder? How are we going to back check harder? How are we going to get out the puck? So it's that being accountable as every player should be, and kind of really getting the puck out, right? And kind of what's going to be next. So.
Well, and what really turned things for the Ice Pack in that second period, to me, really was that shorthanded goal. And you also do some work with the penalty kills. How does it feel to see that PK?
Honestly, it felt pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, anytime you see a PK goal is awesome. I mean, I think our PK has been relatively well this year. We're pretty aggressive, and that's how we like to kind of roll. We have the speed. We have the guys to kind of like put their bodies on the line, they'll block shots, or do whatever it takes. So we have that on our team, and it's nice having a couple PK goals every now and then, especially shorthanded. So it's great to see that.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time and good luck in the final 20 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
That's assistant coach Eric Mura of the Ice Pack. We'll be back in the second intermission. NC State with that 4-3 lead over Liberty.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. The lessons learned here don't end with graduation. A great university goes far beyond campus. It allows you to see the big picture. A great university gives you tools, community, partnership, a launch pad. You don't just go to NC State University. You take us with you. We talk forever about the future. Worry about it, or wish it closer. We try to glimpse the places we'll go, from ocean depths to the far side of the moon. At NC State University, the future is a thing you make, with bright ideas, new tools, and a wolf pack behind you. Tell us where you're headed. We'll help you get there. NC State. Think and do.
Chris Lehman, Nick Perazzi back with you here at Invisalign Arena as we get set for the third period between NC State and Liberty. And Nick, NC State has a 4-3 lead, but there are a lot of things that can change in the final period of play. And one thing that, last year in particular, NC State had some trouble with, and kind of saw it in the Kentucky game as well, was closing things out, kind of playing with the lead and finishing things off with the lead. So we look forward to this final 20 minutes. What are the things that are kind of at the top of your mind that this team needs to do to finish things off?
I think NC State, the biggest thing they need to work on is getting the puck out of the neutral zone and maintaining possession through the neutral zone. We saw too many times that last period where they had the puck, trying to break it out, made a bad pass, got a little sloppy. Liberty was right there to pounce. They had pressure to knock that puck loose, and they were able to get back in the offensive zone, set up their offense. Fortunately for the Icepack, Torres done a fantastic job in net tonight, but as time goes on, that might not be the case, and only holding to a 1-goal lead right now, you got to be a little worried if they don't make an adjustment this upcoming period. A third period is always the best period in terms of your energy. You're always hyped up to play that third period and go out there and show what you got in the tank.
I think for me, when you look at this third and final period for NC State, what it comes down to is really two things. One of them, you've already kind of talked about, getting the puck out of your own end, and we talked with assistant coach Eric Mura a little bit about that, and it has to do a little bit with NC State just adjusting to that forecheck of Liberty. Liberty's trying to force NC State to the middle by closing off those boards and not allowing NC State out the edges, and NC State still kind of trying to force their way out that out the boards, and it's not quite working. We'll see if they can get to the middle and do so cleanly, because part of the reason Liberty wants to force them to the middle is if a mistake happens there, it's more costly more often than not than it would be over along the board. So that's number one for me, is finding a way to get out of the zone and break out cleanly. And the second is shots. We talked about it. NC State outshot 15-4 in the second period. They're being outshot almost 2-1, 20-11 after 2 periods. And obviously it's worked out fine. They've been able to get their goals. They've been opportunistic, but it's not necessarily going to stay that way. It is a bit of a numbers game. That puck luck comes into play a little bit, and Liberty is going to find one if they can continue to put pucks on net at that clip. Tallier, as you mentioned, has been excellent, but he can only stop so many, and if he doesn't see it, it's going to be a whole lot harder to stop, and that's something Liberty's been doing really well in that second period, was getting traffic in front and taking those shots from the point. So I think if you're NC State, limiting the time in your defensive zone, a little bit of an obvious point, but it's something that they've had trouble doing, especially in that second period, and then getting shots to the net is going to make the difference for NC State. Well, we've got about 3 minutes left until puck drop, so we're going to step aside and come back for the third period. NC State looking to hold on to a 4-3 lead over Liberty.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Oh, stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money, so...
if you guys want any... OMG, it's McGruff!
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's a fake!
Oh! I am McGruff, the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
It's getting late here at Invisalign Arena here in Morrisville, North Carolina. Chris Lehman, Nick Prozzi back with you as NC State and Liberty get set for the third and final period. You get a look there at the Flames set to take to the ice. And Nick, as we get ready for the final period, I think there are a couple of things we can start to do. Obviously, this game is not settled yet, but these two teams will be playing again tomorrow up in Lynchburg. And you look at how this game has gone. It's been fast-paced. It's 4-3. It's the game's certainly not out of reach for Liberty. So these two teams are going to expend a lot of energy, and then they're going to have to turn around and do it again tomorrow after a drive up to Virginia.
Yeah, they're hoping. Both teams are only hoping this third period only goes 20 minutes. We don't see any added time for overtime, but the two games these two teams played last year in the battle of this wagon wheel, Liberty won them both, but they won both by 1 goal. Both games were very close throughout, and we're ending the third period at 1 goal lead. So could we see the same thing happen again this year? Maybe the Ice Pack are the ones to get the 1 goal wins, but it's anyone's game right now, like we mentioned during the intermission report. Liberty's dominated the offensive end. They're getting bodies crashing to the net. Warriors having a hard time seeing where that puck is. But NC State has the 2 goals right now in that last period that's outweighing the one that Liberty scored, which is why they're up 4-3.
I mentioned it in the pregame. I think it's worth noting NC State does not need to get up at 5 a.m. to go to Virginia for a 10 p.m. game. They are not leaving until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, as it is only a little over a 2-hour drive. So they don't have to worry about sleeping over in the locker room. They're going to get up and leave tomorrow evening. But it will be interesting to see how the efforts of this game maybe impact the results of the game tomorrow. For NC State, they've got Govea, Herman, and Robinson as the offensive line to start the period. They started the game as well, and then that top D pairing that started the game out there as well, and Cade Cox and Ricky Frosch. On the other side, it's going to be David Hauk to take the draw for Liberty. He's got Jared Matley as well as Eric Abate on his wings. The defensemen are Starkey and Kent for the Flames. False start on the opening draw of the period. They'll get reset again. NC State in the white jerseys moving right to left in this final period, and the navy blue Liberty moving left to right. They'll control the scrum, will the Flames. Frosch lost an edge, and a chance there for Starkey. Slides a pass wide of a teammate, and now NC State will break it out. Cox with speed has it poked off his stick. Puck hopping around in the neutral zone. NC State controls. Thrown to the near side by Govea. Can't connect with Cox, and now Liberty back in control. Up that far wall, Hauk unable to control it. It went right past him. He didn't get a touch on it, so icing is the call, and NC State with an offensive zone faceoff.
Already just 27 seconds of the period, and Liberty had a pretty good chance on the NC State end. It just went wide of David Hauk, but once again, Liberty's being able to put the pressure on NC State, win the neutral zone, and that was a big face-off loss for NC State if they wanted to establish any offensive zone presence.
So Liberty sends it all the way down the ice again off the face-off. And another icing call, so we'll come back to the Liberty end in front of Nick Bernstein. And we haven't talked too much about the face-offs, and I don't have an official count, but I've been trying to keep a rough count of it throughout the 2 periods. And Liberty close to has NC State doubled up in the face-off department, which is something that could play a role. If you're late in the game, you need a possession off a face-off. You gotta find a way to win that draw. Liberty again clears it out. This time the stretch pass hits an NC State 6, so play will continue. Abate sends it around the wall. It skitters all the way out on the far side, and Liberty resets. They're going off for a change, and they're going to turn it over in neutral ice. NC State not quite able to get organized there and get possession of that turnover. Could have been a really bad mistake by Liberty on that line change.
Yeah, that was Starkey, and when he sat down on the bench, he was alerted, hey, that puck was coming to you. He threw his hands up, was like, I was going to the bench.
Thomas Kaner now with speed sends it across. It's directed wide by Lamoureux, and NC State will hold on to their lead for now. Emery Oliver unable to backhand it out of the zone. Sent back in by the Liberty defense. See it up close. Labrizzi pinned to the wall. NC State sweeps it back behind their own net. They'll fight for it there as well. Liberty's Thomas Kaner on the forecheck. Puck squirts loose, back out to the blue line. Pullen sends it deep for the Flames again. Lamoureux battling in the near corner. Getting some assistance from Antonio Vidal. His centering pass deflected back into that near side. And now NC State able to collect the loose puck, lift it off the glass and out, and get the necessary changes. Neutral zone pass popped up in the air, stayed in play. Down into the near corner. NC State looking to carry it out. Left for Philip Bailey. They'll give it back to James, who pitchforks it back behind the, or right into Bernstein, who will glove it and hold on for another faceoff. So not a bad play there by James. I'm not 100% sure if he was fully across the line. Now, if he follows through across the line, it's going to get waved off. The icing will. But a pretty accurate kind of backhand pitchfork there.
Yeah, got pretty lucky there. Also, Bernstein came out of his net a little bit. I think because that icing was waved off, looked like he was going to play it, changed his mind.
Liberty has possession off the face-up. And Cooper Neal clears it out. Swatted right back by McConaughey. But Neal right back to it, forces his way in. Backhand pass, slides across. Nobody gets a touch to it in a navy blue jersey. NC State breaks it out. Arini trying to collect the loose puck and can't. Grabbed at the red line by McEnany. He has it stopped up at the blue line, and now Hauk controls for Liberty. Cross ice for Cooper Neal. His headman pass is disrupted. Liberty will recollect, drops back to their own blue line. Josh Martin looks rink wide for Cooper Neal. He'll send a bouncer in on Toyer, who has really nothing else to do but cover it up. And another stoppage with 16:58 to go in this third period. And Nick, it feels like this period has been a little bit choppier than the first two.
Yeah, a lot of sloppy passes, kind of getting back to that neutral zone slog. Like you said, that first period kind of was. First 3 minutes of the third period, you don't really want to see that for either team. Liberty has had offensive zone time. They just haven't been able to capitalize or get crisp chances.
Holden Kaufman breaks it in for NC State. He's going to be hauled down in the corner. No hand up. That looked like a pretty clear-cut trip or a hook there, but play will continue. And the two teams have been able to, on both sides, get away with just a little bit extra tonight. NC State does still hold the zone. Good forecheck here from the ice pack. Nick Shook in the near corner. Has Frosch up the wall. Decides to spin it back deep, and it's turned over where Liberty can clear it up and out. Bouncing puck hopped the stick, though, of Aaron Higgins, and as a result, we've got an icing call. NC State back to the offensive end again.
Yeah, I don't think they called that penalty, Chris, because it looked like it was a little bit of a flop coming in. You should be able to see it here coming down the ice. Oh, maybe not, actually. There was a bit of a hook there.
The thing that gets me when you look at that replay, and this is kind of what they look for when they're making that kind of hooking call, is Robinson turns with it. But they look for that stick up parallel to the ice, right around the hands, and then Kaufman goes down. A lot of times you see those three things, it's automatically a hand up. But play will continue, 5-on-5 hockey still. And NC State, I wouldn't say they've been dominant in this third period, but I think they've carried a little bit more of the play than Liberty has. They'll go back to work offensively. Cade Cox, the defenseman, stops in the near corner. His backhand pass to the middle hits his skate. Still loose, collected by Herman all alone in front. He roofs it. NC State with a 2-goal lead. Herman, who set up a pair of goals in the first, has one himself under 5 minutes in to this third period.
Well, the second point of the night for Herman. Oh, that's just nasty, right in front of the net, going into the backhand and getting it top net, roofing it, like you said, Chris. Really just again, we said the sloppiness early on, and Liberty made a bit of a sloppy play there in the corner, not getting that pass off, and Herman was there, right place, right time. I should note Zach Herman, not Tom Herman like I called him in the first intermission. But again, this game, it seems like Liberty's dominated. It's 5-3 ice pack now. They are the ones out 2 goals, and you really wouldn't have expected that if you just looked at the stat sheet.
Yeah, I was speaking of stats as Liberty sends it deep. NC State now, I'm not 100% sure on the accuracy and how official the count is on the scoreboard. Shots right now sit at 20-12. That shot that NC State scored on was the first shot from either side this period. And for the ice pack, it's only their 5th shot since the end of the first period. So they've got 3 goals on just 5 shots in the 25-plus minutes of the second period and now into the third. So incredibly efficient. You'd like to see a few more shots, and they are still early on in this third, but you got to like the efficiency at the very least if you're this NC State coaching staff. Maybe an odd man rush brewing here for Liberty. Lifted to the middle there. Nice effort from Thomas Kaner. Can't connect with a teammate, though. They'll go right back to work. One-time try in the slot, blocked away. But Liberty, like piranhas around the puck right now, trying to get themselves back into this hockey game. Ice Pack able to alleviate some pressure. Philip Bailey chases after it as Logan Starkey lugs it behind his own net. Up for Lamoureux, who circles back at his own blue line. Splits a pair of Ice Pack players, cuts into the zone, leaves it top of the circle for a shot there from Kaner. Bodied down by Toyer, pardon me. And now they'll work it across the blue line. Slap shot coming from Kent. That one's deflected off a stick and out of play. So NC State, again, that's another thing, is there's a little bit of extracurriculars down there. One thing that Coach Mira mentioned in that intermission interview was the willingness of this Ice Pack team to get down and sacrifice the body to block the shot. And get a little bit of a look at it there as they get a stick to that shot.
Right in front of the NC State bench, too. They were all fired up for a big play. They're coming down the stretch, 13:57 left. Still plenty of time for Liberty, but time's starting to become a factor.
NC State controls off the defensive zone drop. Beautiful pass to the neutral zone. Kaufman having trouble with the bouncing puck, though. Shook now pins it in that far corner as NC State tries to establish a forecheck, but Liberty able to squirt it loose and move forward. Vidal using Cowan as a screen, takes the shot, and again, NC State defensively gets a piece of it and knocks it out of play.
Got to give credit to the NC State defense here, despite the fact that they've been on their heels really most of the last 20 minutes of this game. They've done a really good job, though, limiting the shots Liberty's taken in terms of blocking the shots, not letting them get those long shots with bodies in front. Now, Liberty has had chances where they have had bodies in front, but especially this period, NC State's done a really, really good job at just limiting those chances for Liberty.
Neutral zone turnover. NC State takes over. Holden Kaufman knocked off the puck at the blue line.
Nope, we're going to get a penalty
and now
for
NC
that
State
hit.
going to be called for a penalty. That was not the smartest decision from McConaughey. And it was Josh Martin. He knocked into the boards. Should be a pretty good angle of it coming up in the corner here. Just right into the small of his back. That's an easy call for the official to make. It looks like it will just be a minor sometimes, and it wasn't a significant contact, and it didn't lead to an injury, so I wasn't expecting a 5-minute, but it will be a minor to NC State's Cade McConaughey. And an important power play here for Liberty. And they'll get set up in the offensive zone. Lamoureux being pestered up at the blue line by Emery Oliver. He dishes over to the near side for Vidal. Fires one through traffic. That one deflects wide of the net. Liberty still in possession at the blue line. Kent through traffic. Toyer didn't see it to the last second, but it whistled wide. Just about 30 seconds gone on the power play. Bouncing puck, hops the stick of Dylan Kent, gets out of the zone. NC State not going to make any changes to the penalty kill at the moment, as Liberty tries to braid back in. That's broken up nicely by Cade Cox. He'll clear the zone, and now the forwards will get a change for the NC State PK. Bernstein sets it up behind the net for the Liberty power play. Flames go up the wall. Antonio Vidal dispossessed by Garrett Arini, who sends it right back to Kent again. Liberty changes halfway through the power play. Good kill so far, though, from NC State. Near side pulling. Closed off nicely by Herman. Puck loose at the NC State blue line, and Liberty unable to get organized coming in. They're offsides. Faceoff will come back on top of the NC State blue line. 12 minutes left in the game, 49 seconds left on the power play. And Nick, these are important 49 seconds. If Liberty wants to make this an interesting game, I think they really need to find a goal here, or at least get the offensive momentum going on this power play.
The problem is right now is there's another clear by NC State. The Ice Pack defense has stepped up here pretty late. We haven't really seen this that much of the game. them able to keep the puck out of their own zone. And then once again, the good neutral zone push by them on the penalty kill is helping them out.
Liberty back set up in the offensive zone, down to 20 seconds left on the man advantage. They'll turn it over behind the net though, and NC State clears it. That was Jack Strong with the heady play just to get it down the ice. This will be one last push for Liberty. Well, it looks like they may just set up the breakout and get ready for 5-on-5. Pass through the neutral zone, across to the near side for Starkey. He'll carry it into the corner. One-timer in the slot, directed wide. And NC State back to full strength as it's 5-on-5 once again. Liberty now 0 for 3 on the man advantage. One of those power plays was only about 20 seconds. But if you're the Flames coaching staff, I think you'd like to see one of those power play opportunities converted on. Nice play by Arini at the blue line, knocks the puck loose and clears it. He needs a change after killing the penalty. And now Robinson out there steals it away at the red line and sends it deep for the ice pack. They'll go in on the forecheck, worked up the near wall, lifted out by Abate. Collected there by Matley, back to Abate. Down the right wing, he'll look to the middle. Sent behind the net instead, all the way up that far wall, chipped right back in by Daniel Howe. Now Abate finds Matley, poked off his stick and out of the zone. Abate will have to chase it. Now Johnson finds Matley, weaving through some white jerseys. Matley has space on the right wing. He's past James, who lost an edge, has to button hook, looking to the middle, pass denied. NC State now in control. Breakout pass behind Zach Robinson. He gets to it over on the far wall and clears it into the Liberty end. Over halfway through this third period now. The only tally of the third was NC State's Zach Herman on a turnover in the Liberty end, and he capitalized to make it 5-3. Toyer swallows up the perimeter shot, and another face-off in the NC State zone.
Something to keep your eye on the rest of this game is Liberty's line changes have not gone swiftly. They kind of getting lackluster when coming on and off the bench, and it nearly cost them. Just a couple minutes ago, NC State had a good chance. They were able to get a good forecheck, or excuse me, a good push into the corner, and Liberty's just got to be a little more crisp in these line changes. We saw it earlier before as well. They weren't able to get a clean line change, and it cost them.
NC State, after the defensive zone draw, able to force their way out, but Liberty will take back control in their defensive end. Breakout pass goes awry, and Nick Shook steps inside the blue line to hold the zone momentarily for NC State. Ricky Frost there to help. He'll lift it down behind the net, and Liberty will start again with the breakout. Up the near corner again, Vidal able to find Kaner. And now Lamoureux has speed. In he comes, and a sliding Toyer makes the save. Lamoureux, I think, wanted a penalty there on the defenseman who got in the way, but play will continue. That was potentially the best chance we've seen for Liberty here in this third period. NC State elevates it out of the zone. Kaufman, big steal, takes the shot. It's deflected wide. Good little forecheck there from Kaufman by himself, and he created a chance. Now Liberty turns it back the other way again. Vidal loses it in his skates momentarily, has it back top of that far near circle. Nowhere to go but deep. He'll slap it in. NC State looks to set up the breakout. Pressure on Jack Strong. He's stuck behind the net as Lamoureux knocks him off the puck. NC State gets it back. They're able to knock it out into neutral ice. Arini wins the 50-50 battle there. And the ice pack will try and regroup once more. Bailey at his own blue line. Leaves it there for Emery Oliver. Good look to find Garrett Arini. Into the zone they go. Now NC State is off sides as I believe it was Bailey, or pardon me, Oliver just wasn't quite able to get back on sides. And so NC State going to have to go all the way down for a face-off in their own end here.
We mentioned, or excuse me, I just mentioned the kind of lack of endurance and sloppy play that the Flames have going on right now. That was a really, really bad turnover in their own zone. Gave, I believe it was Nick Shook, a really good chance, but on the other end, after Lamoureux kind of went down, he thought he got a penalty. It looked like a lit of fire in this Liberty team. They were pressuring the puck. They kind of sense that urgency now. Under 8 to go, they've got to find a puck in the net in like the next 3 minutes if they want any shot of staying in it and keeping on pace.
NC State gonna ice the puck here So they'll have to go back and defend once again. But yeah, Coach Hughes mentioned Lamoureux as kind of the catalyst offensively. And you can see why. He's got a lot of speed. He's definitely a playmaker. He's made it difficult on NC State. Fortunately for the Ice Pack, though, he hasn't really done anything that's directly resulted in a goal. But he has been, a guy to keep an eye on, and he will remain that for the final 7:45 of this game. Shot from the point, blocked in front. NC State, again, doing a great job of getting in front of shots. The shot total right now on the scoreboard listed 23-12 in favor of Liberty. Shot attempts for Liberty are probably upwards of 40, though. NC State has blocked a whole lot of shots. Here's a chance in tight on the centering pass. Toyer gets down low to make the save, and now net is knocked off the moorings as looks like it was Kaner sliding in from Liberty. Actually, that'll be Matley who went sliding into the net, knocking it off. But again, chances galore here for Liberty as of late. They just haven't been able to find the net.
They're setting up really well in front of the net. And we're going to get a good replay here of the save by Isaac Toyer, who I think right now is the big X factor. Another neutral zone turnover by the Ice Pack gives Liberty a good chance. Oh, really good play in front. Yeah, Matley kind of slid in there. Kind of kept sliding to get that net dislodged.
Liberty controls off the draw. Lifted in by Logan Johnson. NC State comes away with it in the near corner. Again, this is one of the things that Coach Eric Mira talked about in the intermission was Liberty was really making it difficult to get out along the boards. You got to go through the middle. NC State goes through the middle the second time it gets out. Now Robinson knocked off the puck, and the Flames can move quickly back the other way. Roman Lamoureux. Centering pass, deflected back behind the net. 2-on-2 scrum back there, and it's Liberty coming away with it. One-time shot, big reactionary save there from Toyer on Thomas Kaner, and a big hit in the corner as you get a look up close. Puck squirts loose to the middle. NC State has numbers if they hurry. Robinson to the middle for Cox. He looks to further it along. Brenner can't quite get to it, and it skitters into the near corner where Liberty can reverse it the other way. Brenner had that shorthanded goal back in the second that turned things around for NC State. He'll go off on a change as NC State switches things up. Nick Shook, fresh off the bench, fires one that's patted away by Bernstein. Kaufman has the rebound for the Ice Pack. He'll be pinned to the near wall. Shook comes to help out. Beautiful pass, high slot, shot from McConaughey. Off a stick wide. Nick Shook in control once again. Trying to stick handle his way out of trouble, ends up losing the puck to Thomas Kaner. Nice defensive play there to slow things up at the blue line by James. NC State picks up the loose change, and they're able to push it back into neutral ice. Under 6 minutes to go. Not quite that time yet, but we're closing in, especially if it stays a 2-goal game. We're closing in on that time where we'll see Nick Bernstein, the goaltender for Liberty, head to the bench and give them an extra skater. NC State clears the zone. Nick Shook, heck of a shift from him as he knocks that puck down the ice, and NC State can change up that forward line. Liberty going right back at it. David Hauk down that far left wing. Has it knocked off his stick? He'll fight for it with Alex James in that far corner. James finds his D partner Strong. Looking up the middle. It's in the skates of his intended target. Chance for Liberty. One-time shot from Hauk. Catches the glass behind, and it's going to skitter all the way out past the red line. And Liberty will reset again. Mulder over to Neal. It hopped his stick. Bounces right back to Mulder, though. He'll stop hard over in that far corner and spins the puck back behind the net. First one to it is Luke Tucker of Liberty. Pestered there by James. Tucker still in control. Back to the blue line. Slap pass coming. Directed in front. Toyer makes a big save. Oh, man. Isaac Toyer. Ever since that second period started, Toyer has been on point. And here's another look at a great save and a beautiful play at that.
Luke Tucker is robbed, and a couple of the Liberty players on the ice thought that was a goal. They put their hands up in celebration. Isaac Toyer, really ever since he allowed that third goal, has become the story of this game. He has kept NC State out in front. A phenomenal performance. 4:43 to go. We'll see if the other goaltender across the way is getting ready to leave.
It's probably going to be another minute and a half to 2 minutes at least before he goes, as the shot deflects up and over the net. But if you go back to that last save Toyer made, what makes it so difficult is you have the slat pass coming from the point on the far side across to the near circle, where it's a one-touch pass from Cooper Neal back into the middle for Luke Tucker. And so Toyer very quickly has to go right to left and then quickly back left to right to make that save. And it was just absolutely a stunning save and a big one to have at this point in the game with a 2-goal lead. Starkey for Liberty, threads the needle, finds Cooper Neal cross ice. Neal around his defender, puts one on goal, and it's bodied down by Toyer. He'll leave it there for Jack Strong. Just over 4 minutes to go. NC State looking to break out. Long pass up the ice. Finds Zach Robinson. He's going to move in. Not a lot of time. Backhands one on goal. Easy save there for Bernstein as Robinson had a couple of flames breathing down his neck. Now Liberty turns it back up the ice. Lamoureux with that speed he's got down the right wing. Backhands it off the pad of Toyer. Over to the far side. NC State looking to clear and can't. Glove down. Chance for Kaner. Shot is stopped. Liberty keeping the pressure on. 3.5 to go as that shot whistles through and misses the net. Keep an eye on Bernstein. I would imagine that net on the Liberty end is going to be empty in the next minute or so. McEnany trying to force it out up that far wall. Nice play by Cade Cox. Finds the puck in the skates. Retreats with it. Creates some space, and NC State will move it back forward. Here's Herman. Had the lone goal of the period. Dispossessed in the near corner. Liberty reverses play. Here's Kaner. Left for Lamoureux. Walking through traffic. Roman Lamoureux has it taken off his stick in that near corner. NC State trying to break it out. Can't maintain possession, but they do get it into neutral ice. And now Kent has some speed. Liberty defenseman hauled down. Nice hit there from Cade Cox as play continues. Liberty looked like might have wanted a penalty there. Aren't going to get it. 2.5 to go. So I think the next time that Liberty is able to establish themselves in the offensive end, we're going to see Bernstein headed to his bench. McConaughey. Saucer pass to the near side. Can't be handled by Aiden Brenner. Liberty sends it deep. Held in at the blue line by Nathan Mulder. Looking in the middle, up close. 2 big saves by Toyer, and NC State clears the garbage out of danger. Bouncing puck, glove down at the blue line.
We've got a hand pass.
Oh, no, it looks like they'll call a high stick, actually. And that'll bring, as the puck was played with a high stick, so not a 2-minute penalty, but it will stop play, and fortunately for NC State, it's going to come out of their zone as well. And now we'll get a look at this last sequence of saves as Liberty is going to call their timeout and talk things over. But that one, actually no saves there at all. Toyer bailed out by his post, and then NC State was able to clear it out. But again, it's a game of inches. We've seen Liberty come that close a couple of times, but it remains a 2-goal game.
Like we mentioned, Isaac Toyer has become the story of this game, especially in this third period, making big saves left and right, keeping NC State out by 2. And then the other net, Nick Bernstein really hasn't looked to the bench to see if he's coming out or not. He's kind of just stayed in his crease, even with all those chances Liberty's just have. He's having a conversation on the sideline right now with Scone, but you gotta think with 2:08 to go, he might not even start this faceoff off. Well, faceoff's in the neutral zone, so he will have to start out in the net.
It'd be interesting to see. He's probably going to start at least part way out. I will say there wasn't much of an opportunity, save maybe the last 10 seconds really, for Bernstein to come out of the net. He did before he went over there to talk with Scone. He had a conversation with Coach Hughes, head coach of this Liberty team. So they've got a pretty clear idea. My guess is if we get possession, you're coming to the bench. And you can see as he backs away, he is keeping an eye on the bench. So he knows what he needs to do. But the face-off on top of the NC State blue line, far side of the ice away from us. It's going to be Emery Oliver to take the draw for NC State up against Liberty's Thomas Kaner. 2:08 to go in the game. NC State with a 5-3 lead. They've got 3 unanswered after falling behind 3-2 in the second period. Liberty wins the draw and controls. Dylan Kent elevates it into the middle of the NC State defensive zone. Tracked down in the far corner by Jack Strong. He has it stolen away. Liberty pins it to the wall, and now they're going to send Matley out as the extra man. Bernstein is off the ice, but just as Matley comes on, NC State takes over. Matley with the steal at the blue line, looking to the middle. Well denied on the pass there by Labrizzi. Liberty continuing to put the pressure on with the extra attacker. Kent looking for a deflection in front. It gets deflected, but not on goal. They'll battle for it again along the near side of the net, down on the end wall. This is exactly where NC State wants it. Pin it to the wall, burn some clock. And now NC State able to break it out. Arini scored the first goal of the game. Backhand try at the empty net, ends up wide. Liberty tracks it down, but it looks like Arini was taken down late. And NC State going to go on the power play with 1:14 to go. And Nick, that might be all she wrote.
And the fact that it is Roman Lamoureux, I think it might be actually what you just said. It might be all you wrote. One of the best players. He is furious. He just slammed the door. He broke the door. He is furious. Ref has calmed him down. Took him 2 tries to close the door because he slammed it so hard. And with a minute 14 left, Liberty had the chances. And Lamoureux it's just a bad penalty to take in that situation. The puck was going behind the net. He had a teammate back there with him. And now you're down 4-on-5 because you have to put your goalie back in for the defensive zone face-off, down 2 with a minute to go.
And the clearance looks like caught the netting on the way out. It did hit the glass first. You could hear it.
Actually got
So the face-off will come out of the Liberty zone. This will look at Arini going down there that resulted in the penalty. But NC State, I think, has this one pretty well locked up. Bernstein still in the net. Ice Pack win the draw. 1:05 to go. Frosch gains the red line, sends it in. Bernstein stops it along the side of the net where it can be picked up by Josh Martin. He'll go across the rink for Abate. Takes it off the wall. Leaves it there for Hauk, who sends it deep. Under 50 seconds to go as Cox pins it to the wall behind the net. NC State coming out of the scrum with it. And now Liberty looks like they're starting to call off the dogs a little bit here. As we mentioned, there is another game for these two teams tonight. Liberty going to hop right on the bus after this. Probably not going to get home till, I would imagine, in the realm of 3 or 4 in the morning. But they will head back up to Lynchburg tonight, and NC State leaving tomorrow evening to head up to LaHaye Ice Center for that game. And another penalty. This time it looks like it's going to go against NC State. A tripping call with 16 seconds left in the game. Just really a formality at this point. It'll make it 4-on-4 as Ricky Frosch heads off to the box.
I think this game got away from Liberty really in this period. Isaac Torrier really stood on his head and not being able to respond after the goal that really Bernstein just had go through his legs in terms of the questionable call, and then the deflected goal that benefited NC State. Ever since then, Liberty really hasn't been able to respond despite the great chances that they've had. But the fact that Zachary Herman has really put that goal, the goal in this period to make it go to a 2-goal lead, he's had a stamp on this game. It's definitely going to be a star tonight.
NC State controls off the draw. Able to get it out into neutral ice. That should bleed off the rest of the clock. And NC State, bit of a statement win here tonight. I like the way they played. They bounced back from falling behind a couple of times and ended up scoring the final 3 to win 5-3.
And the first game of this wagon wheel rivalry will go to NC State. They have a chance to clinch it tomorrow night in Lynchburg, like we mentioned, a 10:30 puck drop up at Lynchburg and at Liberty. But really good win for NC State. They showed adversity. They had to show a lot of adversity today. Being down 3-2, they were getting punched in the mouth, as Tim Healy said. It's how you respond from that, and I think that's really going to be the key takeaway tonight. NC State really responded after they gave up that third goal tonight, went down 1. Yeah, they had 2 pretty good puck luck goals, but at the end of the night, you win 5-3. That shows adversity. They didn't lay down and die and let Liberty run all over them. They stayed strong. That's the reason why they won today.
The two teams shake hands at center ice. They'll do it again tomorrow up in Lynchburg. But the final count here tonight, NC State 5, Liberty 3. We'll be back with the postgame right after this.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Mo's Southwest Grill.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop. From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
Stupid controller froze again.
Spending less money,
I was wondering if you guys wanted me. OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff the crime dog. He's a fake.
I am McGruff the crime dog. He is the fake, and so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. Let's take a bite out of crime together.
Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing it out.
You are smart, kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library, Don Diablo.
Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? This is Kid Kinetic, your boy up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State. Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Chris Lehman, Nick Prazzi back with you here at Invisalign Arena after NC State closes out the Liberty Flames by a final count of 5-3. And Nick, as we get into this one in postgame, first thing I want to know is thoughts on the overall game and the way NC State played tonight.
NC State only had 14 shots on goal tonight and won. That usually won't get the job done. And
not when you give up 29.
That's true. Like we mentioned in the pregame, if NC State wanted to come out and win this game, they got to punch them in the mouth first. They got to play hard. They got to own the offensive zone. They didn't do any of that tonight other than punch them in the mouth first, but they got punched right back a minute later. But the fact that NC State showed adversity, the fact that Isaac Toyer kind of cemented himself as a true goalie number one that NC State now has, that's the reason why they won this game. And Liberty kind of just sloppy passes here and there. They didn't have many, but the two that they had cost them dearly, and it's the reason why they lost by 2 tonight.
Yeah, in this game, almost an exact reversal of the 5-2 loss to Kentucky a couple weeks ago. NC State, as we mentioned, talk about get 5 goals on 14 shots. You're converting over 33% of the time. Very opportunistic. That was great to see. And they were able to come back after they got knocked down. They give up the 2 goals to go down 2-1 in the first. They go down 3-2 in the second. And then, like I said, one thing that was a bit of a question mark for this team last year was being able to finish off games with leads, and they did that here tonight. So I think a lot of things went really well for this NC State team, and now you got to go up to Lynchburg and do it again.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow we may see a goalie switch for Liberty. Bernstein may not be in net tomorrow night. They may put in their true number one and Scone in. However, it's kind of hard as a goalie when you only face 14 shots. One of them gets deflected by your defenseman and goes in. Another one probably maybe should have been a penalty. And the rest of them were just kind of shots that came sporadically. It's kind of hard to get in that rhythm. And Bernstein kind of had trouble with that tonight, getting in a rhythm. He didn't really face too many shots, and I think that's why NC State was able to put the puck in the back of the net as much as they did. Liberty's defense didn't really help him out with that on those chances that he faced, because they were really good chances for the ice pack.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I was going to mention. You kind of alluded to there is Liberty to some extent, even though they only limited NC State to 14 shots, on 5 instances, they kind of left their goaltender out to dry. Maybe not all 5, but on at least a couple of them. The turnover in the third period that led to the Herman goal was one of them. The 2 breakaways in the first period that NC State scored on, one of them off of a rebound. So Bernstein, I don't think, played really that poorly. It was just some really high-quality chances for NC State that made the difference. And as we said, they're going to have to go up. And in all likelihood, the number 1 goaltender in Lane Scone is going to get the start in game number 2 tomorrow. So it'll be a little bit of a different test for NC State. Well, big win for the Ice Pack here tonight. Just the first of a back-to-back home-and-home series with the Liberty Flames. Guys are getting rowdy in the locker room. We can hear it back behind us. We're going to talk to some of the people in the locker room on the other side. We'll have a player interview, and we'll wrap things up with head coach Tim Healy coming up. NC State winners over Liberty 5-3.
From the top of D.H. Hill Library,
Don Diablo. Oh yeah, this is actually like in my studio.
WKNC HD3 Raleigh.
Hey, what's up and what's going on, folks? It's Kid Kinetic, your boy, up here at the top of the hour. And guess what I got? A treat that's too sweet to beat.
This is Wolf Bites Radio.
Oh, that's really sweet.
NC State.
We've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen, so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, Ice Pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all Ice Pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Welcome back to Invisalign Arena. Nick Perazzi here, and I'm with the man who saved so many shots today, 26 to be exact. Isaac Toyer here with me today. Phenomenal game you played out there today. Really owned that third period overall. What was going through your mind entering that third period, knowing your team had a 1-goal lead, you had to protect it?
I mean, it's pretty much the same as any lead. Like, the team on the other end doesn't matter as much to me. I just knew I had to lock in, play my game, and we'd make it out with a win.
Now, something pretty obvious here is what you got on your head. Mind telling everybody the backstory about that?
So this is a team tradition that's been handed down for years. It's called the hard hat. We pick a player every game. Whoever has the hard hat picks a player of the game, and you hand it off. I actually came into the game with the hard hat from my performance against Penn State, and it's the first time somebody's ever let the same person keep the hard hat. So I'm pretty honored.
A big honor indeed. Standing on your head, I think that would help out. Really big game for you tonight.
rolling into tomorrow, the unique home-and-home environment. How do you go into that knowing you played a big game tonight, you got another big game tomorrow against the exact same opponent?
So we actually are lucky about this one because it's a later game. We get to sleep in a little if we don't have class. So we get to rest up, and we just have to reset. We know if we play our game tomorrow, we're going to end up with the same result that we did tonight.
Well, Isaac Torre, ladies and gentlemen, for you. A phenomenal night, 26 saves tonight. On the back end of this commercial break, we'll wrap things up with head coach Tim Healy.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Life is for learning, from baby steps to big ideas. We plan, try, fail, and do better next time. Each day is a new experiment, a fresh chance to seek answers, connection, purpose. The mind is not a vessel to be filled. It's rocket fuel. And when you start at NC State University, you can't be stopped. NC State. Think and do.
Hey there, doing some yard work? Installing a new fence, flowers, or shrubs? Stop! Don't dig just yet! You have buried gas, electric, and even internet lines down there. Before you pick up a shovel, pick up a phone or go online and contact 811. 811 is a free service. Yes, free! 811 is the first step to having those buried utilities marked. 811 keeps you safe, protects the lines, and it's the law. This safety message brought to you by North Carolina 811.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your source for all things NC State. Just off campus in the Ridgewood Shopping Center at 3526 Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop has everything the NC State fan needs. Sporting goods and memorabilia, your favorite NC State team apparel, tailgating essentials, ice pack gear. A proud sponsor of the NC State hockey team, a percentage of all ice pack sales go back to the team. Stop by today or visit us online. The Red and White Shop.
Chris Lehman back with head coach Tim Healy of the NC State Ice Pack after a 5-3 win over the Liberty Flames in the front end of a home-and-home series with Liberty. And, Coach, hard-fought game. First thing I want to ask you, though, is one of the things you talked about after the Kentucky win was your team's ability to bounce back after they get punched in the mouth. You kind of did it twice tonight, down 2-1 and down 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, that third period, how we got the lead wasn't necessarily a thing of beauty. Right? Like, that's not going up in the Louvre, right? But actually how we held on to that lead and then actually extended the lead on Herman, I think that was a shorthanded goal. It was a really good third period, a good example of playing with the lead, locking it down. When they pulled the goal, I don't think they got a shot, and then eventually they got frustrated and took a penalty. So again, how we got there, it wasn't the prettiest. But how we finished it, it was. And, you saw the energy on the bench. It was totally different tonight when we went down. And you're right, we score a minute in, not even a minute in, and they come back. It was just a different team tonight with the attitude. And, it's a good feeling right now to see that progress.
Well, you talked about being able to close things out and play with the lead. A big reason you're able to do that is the man who was between the pipes tonight, and Isaac Toyer. It felt like even when he didn't see the puck cleanly, he was still able to get into the right position. What can you say about the way he played?
We talk about battling along the boards, but for goalie, because I actually was a goalie. Most people don't know that until they've seen me skate, and then it leaves no question. But, we talk about puck fight with goalies sometimes, and his puck fight tonight was on point. He kind of called himself out, too, after this start. He came up before the third period and said, I started at the end of it, he goes, I started slow, but I'm finishing. There's no more. So basically he was saying, hey, we got the lead. It's done, and it's over. And he certainly shut the door tonight.
Well, and you're going to have to face this exact same team tomorrow up in Lynchburg, Virginia. Not an unfamiliar place. You were there not that long ago to take on their Division I team. What do you expect when you head up there in terms of the atmosphere and, of course, what kind of legs both teams are going to have after playing tonight?
Yeah, I think on these home and homes, it's a little bit easier when you have the front end at home because you're back in your own bed at a reasonable time. I mean, we practice at 10:45 at night, so, looking at the time, we're leaving the rink at about the normal time we we do on a Thursday night, right? So in a lot of ways, we're not out of our routine going into a road game. So that I think that puts us in good shape.
All right, one last question for you, Coach. This is head coach Tim Healy of the Ice Pack. As you go up to that game and you get ready for it, what are the things that you saw your team do well tonight that you want them to carry over to tomorrow?
I think if you saw it on the bench, the team, right? It was the chemistry tonight, the drive tonight, the pushing each other. We went down a couple times in that game. So I think that's the thing, right? Like, you have to build off this. It was the polar opposite of what you mentioned at Kentucky, so that's where we have to stay. We know we're not going to win many games at 14 shots or 15 shots or whatever it is, right? So we got that lead on that fewer shots. We escaped with it. We know we have to get more offensive chances tomorrow, but staying that together as a team and that togetherness, that'll go a long way.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time and congrats on the win.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. NC State winners in the front end of the home and home against Liberty. Final count, NC State 5, Liberty 3.
Hey, free queso tomorrow, too. Cameron Village Mo's. So, 5 goals.
Very true, very true. If you're looking to watch the NC State game tomorrow, you can enjoy it with some free queso from Mo's. So, from Invisalign Arena, NC State, final count, 5-3 over Liberty. I like it. I forgot about it. We mentioned it at the ECU game, yeah. I forgot about it. Good luck tomorrow. Have a safe trip.
Is everything in there good to be